Welcome into LakePoint Sports. Cory McCartney with you for part of our spring break experience, this prep baseball event over the next 2 weeks. And we are going to kick off our coverage with a matchup of Lincoln Way West from Illinois taking on Olentangy Liberty from Ohio. Now, we've got a great matchup for you, and we got a ton of great individual players that we're going to see as well. On the mound for Olentangy Liberty in this one is Parker Van Englenhoven, a Louisville commit. I had a chance to catch up with Parker ahead of this matchup and hear from him. Let's check things out with you as we get to know this 2026 in this interview. Joined by Parker Van Englenhoven, Louisville commit out of Olentangy Liberty at 2026. Parker, man, appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for the time.
Thank you for having me.
So let's talk a little bit about the arsenal. I know you got that fastball that's on the cusp of 90. Take me inside the secondary stuff. Kind of tell me, what do you feel like is the big strength for you on the mound?
I like my slider. I can throw it in any count. I mean, I can go inside at your hip for righties, get it on the outside corner for lefties, and then obviously break it off into the dirt if like 0-2, 1-2.
What did you work on this winter that you feel like, okay, this is what people are going to notice about me this spring?
I think I just try to gain strength. I mean, I was a slim 180 last summer, got up to 200 this year, trying to throw harder, and then I think the pitch you'll see this year that will is new in the arsenal would be the changeup. I think that would be big against lefties and get grounders from the righties.
What do you like about it?
I like the vertical break on it. It gets down. It with all my stuff going side to side, it gets down to lefties on the outside and then inside on the righties.
Do you have a velo number in mind for the fastball by the time the high school career is over with?
Well, hopefully 95, 96, 97.
What's the mission to make that happen? Is it the lower half strength? Like, what's the process?
It's just strength all over. I mean, I'm still maturing. I need to get the body right. Hopefully I'll be up to 225 at least by senior year. But yeah.
Great 1-2 punch here for 2026 is from you, Drew Holstein, the Ohio State commit. You guys have been together for a long time now. What do you like about him on the mound? What makes him tick?
What makes him tick? I mean, we just feed off each other in the dugout. I mean, I'll be playing first and he'll be pitching this spring. But yeah, I like him on the mound. Everything moves. I mean, nothing's straight. Got a good slider, working on that changeup, and then his two-seam for that lefty sink is really good.
Spending so much time together for Olentangy Liberty and the Bo Jackson Elite program, what's the competition level like? Are you guys trying to one-up each other?
Oh, it's always been high since third grade. I mean, basketball, baseball, football. It's really good to have them, and practices are intense because of it. You
were down here multiple times representing Ohio during the Junior Future Games. What do you remember most about those experiences and coming down here and just repping your state?
Just the crazy amount of coaches. I mean, before the rule, it was really fun. Never seen it before. And, I mean, that's where my recruiting started. And just having the players, I have relationships with all the guys in Ohio now, so it's pretty cool.
You mentioned the recruiting changes. You were a guy that got it out of the way, and now a lot of 2026s can already say that they're commit. Why was that something that was important for you?
Really stress-free now. I get to work on myself, get to work on my body, and not worry about colleges contacting and having calls at night, which takes some energy out of you.
Louisville is a destination. The ACC speaks for itself, a program that's got a lot of guys on to the next level. But what did you really like about that?
I just like the history of winning. I mean, McDonald and all the coaches have been there for 10 years. They're 10-year coaches, and they just know how to win and develop players, as you said.
All right, I'm going to get you a ball. I always like to see a pitcher show us how they do what they do, so I want to see those grips in action.
Okay. Fastball here. Some days I keep the fingers close together. Some days I don't, just on feel. And then I got two-seam, try to put pressure on that index finger, and it really just moves. And then it acts as a changeup sometimes. And then changeup, circle change, just go through that middle finger and pronate. And then my slurve, I've been throwing it since 12U, so I don't really know how to say, but I just get on top of it and let my arm angle do the work. And then that's it.
Parker, man, thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate it. If not already, make sure you follow LakePoint Sports on all our social media channels. Hit that subscribe button, and you'll get so many more of the athletes that come here to show out. And Parker Van Englenhoven's name is a mouthful, and he's going to be a handful for this Lincoln Way West lineup as they match up in this action here from the spring break experience. And Olentangy Liberty already played once. They were walk-off winners over Homewood Flossmoor. Brady Bonacci coming through with a game-winning single in the 7th inning. So we're going to be interested to see how they follow that up. They've got momentum on their side. They were down 6-1, bounce back, get that victory. See how they follow that up here as they going to take on a talented Lincoln Way West lineup. And let's take a look at how these teams are going to go out here in this second matchup for the day for Olentangy Liberty. They're going to go with Andrew Leonard, the second baseman, leading off, followed by Aiden Dean, the aforementioned Parker Van Englenhoven is going to be on the mound. Zach Meyer, the catcher. Brady Schneer, the center fielder. Nick Vitarini, the shortstop. Brady Bonacci, again, the deliverer of that walk-off win. A.J. Clymer, the left fielder. Ryan Stickle at third base. They are going to have at first base is going to be McCaffrey Tatum. We switch over to Lincoln Way West, and they will go with Jacob Willis, the center fielder, followed by Connor Essenberg, Anthony Massa, Jack Linko, Lucas Acevedo, Ben Shea, Dan Hodel, Josh Howard, Caden Kopak, and they're going to have Colin McCarty on the mound, the lefty. So we'll be taking you up to first pitch here as we watch McCarty go through his final pitches and the throw down to second base, and we're going to have our action underway here. We'll be joined here in a minute by Avery Hunt from Prep Baseball Georgia. We'll also see Ian Smith from Prep Baseball Georgia, and we're going to be also joined by Cole Crafton from Lincoln Way West. Cole, a Louisville signee, out for the season after undergoing ACL surgery. Hardy, strike right to the shortstop, gathers, unable to make the throw, so we're going to have a base runner to start things off. And Olentangy Liberty starting off quickly after coming through offensively to come back again 6-1 in that last game and keep things rolling. All right, as I mentioned, Avery Hunt's going to step in here and join us. Going to slide over for Avery to step in here for this one. Yeah, got the game, had everything rolling over there, Avery. We get you your mic. Thank you. Stepping in here. So we saw some dramatics there in the first game with Olentangy Liberty having to come back from a 6-1 deficit, end up getting that walk-off win with Brady Bonacci coming through in the bottom of the 7th there with an RBI single. So you picked him well, son.
I know. No, we're trying. We're trying. We're glad to have all these guys down here. It's everybody's been great. We're lucky to have the facility and be able to draw teams of this caliber down here, to be able to just see these guys, because we see all of the Georgia guys, but be able to see guys not too far from home and from the Midwest and up in the Northeast. So it's been a fun event so far. We're looking forward to the rest of the week. Hopefully tomorrow with the rain holds off a little bit. Yeah,
I was talking to both coaches pregame, and there's a stolen base to get things rolling along. Again, Olentangy Liberty looking to stay hot after that comeback win in the last game. We may think that this weather is a little bit balmy, if you will, and a little windy, but escaping the Ohio and Illinois March, they both coaches said this is downright tropical for them to be out here.
Absolutely. I was talking to some guys this weekend, said that they had some snow on the ground when they came down. So it's a little cold. It's a little chilly with some wind, but we don't have any snow, so that's a positive on our side.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in West Central Ohio. Ty Brenning, the Olentangy Liberty coach, actually is from the town right below where I'm from, but I don't have to deal with what he has to deal with on a daily basis anymore. So to me, the blood is thinned out. I've been here for 19 years now, and this just I can't handle the cold anymore. So
yeah, it's not my favorite. I'm ready for it to be warm all the time. We feel like we get 3 or 4 days of warm weather, then we follow it up with 2 or 3 days of cold weather and some rain mixed in. So definitely looking forward to the warmer weather down here full time. So.
All right, Aiden Dean up to bat now. Aiden at 2025, 5'11", 160. Runs a 16.704, 8.76 exit velos. Always like to look at the prep baseball scouts and what they say about a player. Solid in the box, solid in the field.
That's always a good one. That's what you need. You need guys that can swing it and play some defense. So, yeah.
Then we got Colin McCartney on the mound. A little bit intel here on Colin as we roll along in this one. Colin runs that fastball up to 84, and he setting for a strike and a stolen base. Colin works that fastball from both sides of the plate, the scouts say. Paired off of a fastball, gets a breaking ball into the upper 60s and low 70s with a changeup. Big swing and a miss. It's an interesting pitching matchup. Homewood Flossmoor started off with a guy who didn't throw especially hard, and the Olentangy Liberty players told me it took them about the second time to get through the order until they kind of really caught up with that velocity. They said they're used to seeing pitching that's, no offense, but just a little bit higher velocity, so it took them a little bit to kind of, tweak things, and I think that's why you saw them fall behind as much as they did and were able to come back. So now they're having to deal with a guy who, throws it in the mid-80s. So now it's a little bit of a change again as they look at Colin McCartney and what he's offering here for Lincoln Way West.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the hardest part as a hitter is, 95% of hitting is timing. When you go from a guy that's, you're used to seeing mid to upper 8s, and all of a sudden you get a guy that's in the 7s, and it's like, okay, we got to recalibrate everything here, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're seeing a guy that's in the mid-8s again. So, that's the biggest part of hitting, and the biggest part of pitching is disrupting that timing. So, that's the battle that you have to fight.
That's Parker Van Englenhoven, the pitcher for Olentangy Liberty, up to bat now. Parker, as you heard in my pregame interview with him, is on his way to Louisville. One of the best right-handed pitchers, not only in the state of Ohio, but in the nation. The top-ranked righty in Ohio, by the way, in 2026. He's second player overall in that class, 13th ranked righty in the nation. In that class, he's a top 43 player. He sends that one foul. Comes in at 6'5", 195 pounds. Calm demeanor. See him in the mound here shortly. He's right up around 90. Also has a curveball, slider, changeup, a little bit of everything, and then he happens to get off the plate and push the exit velo around 96. So just an all-around player. Junior Feature Games alumni, was here in 2022, right ahead of that commitment to Louisville.
Probably beat up on our guys from Georgia during that event. So, so that's obviously we've talked about it. That's a great event to kind of see guys and then be able to see them kind of as they progress through their careers is, one of the more fun aspects of, the job that I'm lucky enough to have.
Well, Drew Hohenstein is also part of that Olentangy Liberty pitching staff and was also a member of that Junior Feature Games team. He's a Ohio State commit. He and Parker also teammates for the Bo Jackson Elite program that we see here quite a bit during the summertime. So they'll be back down here this summer. Again, 2026 they were a couple of the guys that took advantage of the opportunity to get that commitment out of the way before the recruiting rules change. And they both told me it's like now I get to just relax. And, there's a whole nother, this generation, their age group that is going to have to, work a little bit harder now. They couldn't commit as 8th, 9th grader, 10th graders, and they're going to have to wait now until that summer before their junior year before they can turn that commitment key. And there are a couple of the guys lucky enough to have gotten that out of the way before the NCAA stepped in and altered the way that these coaches can contact and ultimately offer players.
Absolutely. That's such a, like you said, just kind of being able to relax, get the commitment out of the way, not having to worry about that as you progress through your high school career and not, have that in the back of your mind. So all in all, I think the rule is good for the sport. It helps guys progress and not have to worry about committing at 13, 14 years old.
Yeah, I mean, look here locally, Cannon Golden is a kid that we saw do that. At Buford, he's now is ultimately committed to Ole Miss, and he was a prep baseball All-American going into this season. But he had committed as an 8th grader to South Carolina, and I think you think about coaching changes, the way you change as a player, your interests, a lot of things can certainly change. And I just think we just saw a rash of kids that were committing, and that right before they even hit the high school ranks, and you kind of sometimes scratched your head and thought, do you really know what you want when you get to the high school, when you get to those late high school years? And
so much can change in
absolutely.
4 to 5 years. Coaching changes what you're looking to do as a player, who you are as a player. All those things can change so drastically in a 4 or 5 year span. Like you said, I think committing as you get older is just better for everybody involved.
Innings continuing for Olentangy Liberty. Brady Schneer now up to bat. Brady's a Thomas Moore signee, 6'1", 190, the number 13th ranked outfielder in Ohio in 2024. Future Games alumni in 2022. Been down here a couple of times this past summer with the Cincy Flames. You and I were talking before the game. The name is spelled Schnierer, and he said it's pronounced Schneer. It does not look like it says Schneer, but it says Schneer. There were a few players in this Olentangy Liberty team that were mouthfuls, so we had to make sure I got the pronunciations down. Can't have parents commenting in the
comment on the Facebook.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, make sure we get things right. Brady's a really interesting prospect, though. 103.4 exit velo, runs a 60 and 6.51.
That's moving.
Yep. So this is a toolsy outfielder for Olentangy Liberty without question. Again, number 13 in the state of Ohio at his position in 2024. Parker Van Englenhoven at second base. Got runners at second and third. Andrew Leonard, the leadoff man, is at third. Make it 2-2. For our prep baseball events, we always have the scoreboard working with the TrackMan data. Not having that for this event, so we'll update you as much as we can along the way with the score. Obviously, we're top of the first here, scoreless, and gets the punch out of Schneer. So that's going to do it for the first half of an inning. Nice recovery there from McCartney to get out of a jam with strand runners at second and third. We'll be back with more shortly here from LakePoint Sports in our game of the day from the Spring Break Experience.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, you'll always find more fun with great brands at the best prices. More of this, and this. So you can get together for a little of that, and a lot more of that. And even some of that, and that's good. Have more fun with great brands at the best prices. Only at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. Cory McCartney, Prep Baseball, Georgia's Avery Hunt. This is the Spring Break Experience here at LakePoint Sports. And Avery, you and I talked about this during our game of the day over the weekend, but take us inside a little bit, the process. I mean, we've got teams from Ohio here. We've got Illinois. We've got teams from Georgia as well playing in this event. But for a lot of guys coming down here to get some action in during their spring break. Tell us about this whole event coming together.
Absolutely. Like we talked about, a lot of guys just trying to find some warm weather and trying to just get some games in, get tuned up for the year, kind of, just get away for spring break. Spring break here is a little bit different than it is in the Midwest. So lucky to have these guys down here. They kind of get to make their own schedules with their varsity and JV guys. So it's been fun. We've had some travel stuff, so a few travel issues getting down here, but luckily we have got everybody here and we're ready to go. So definitely looking forward to it. And, the first slot of games was fun, so we're looking forward to the rest of the week.
Yeah, the teams that we have here in total, you got Friends Select from Pennsylvania, Homewood Flossmoor from Illinois, Hortonville from Wisconsin, Lincoln Way West, who you're seeing now from Illinois, Mars Hill from Alabama, Olentangy Liberty, who you're seeing now from Ohio, Paintsville from Kentucky, Rabun Gap from Georgia, who'll be here later this week, Rockbridge from Missouri, who played in that opening window as well, Stillman Valley, another team from Illinois, and Westbrook Christian from Alabama. So again, a nice little cross section here as we have teams from the South and teams from the Midwest coming down here. And you got to see Parker Van Engelenhoven with me in that pregame interview. Now we get to see him in action on the mound, and again, just a huge frame here, 6'5", 195. Told me a big focus for him this offseason, as you can imagine, someone with his build and his age is trying to put on weight. He's trying to get that uptick by the time he's done, as you heard in that interview, around the end of the high school career. He wants to be around that 95 range with the fastball. So you think, man, that's if you're Louisville and you think that could be triple digits by the time he's done in college.
By
if he's
his
95,
sophomore year, that could be up in the 98 to 100 range.
Yep. So he issues a leadoff walk, but obviously a ultra talented arm that we're going to see here for Olentangy Liberties. They try to work their way towards a second victory here, again taking a walk-off win in Game 1 over Homewood Flossmoor. Brady Benaki coming through with the game-winning knock. So now you're going to see, after the walk to Jacob Willis, here's Connor Essenberg. So Connor, one of the committed players, Kansas State commit in the class of 2025. Going to catch up with Connor for one of these interviews tomorrow, so excited to see him. And later on, we're going to see Cole Crafton's going to pop in here to the studio, a Louisville signee, 2024. Had ACL surgery. He's getting around pretty well now. We'll have him update himself on his health later, but does not have any plans on coming back to the lineup here, focused on what lies ahead for him in the ACC and the Cardinals, as you can obviously understand him wanting to make sure that future stays intact. 1-1's the count to Essenberg. Essenberg, 6'1", 198. Bounces away from the catcher. He's the top-ranked first baseman in Illinois, number 5 overall, number 6 in the nation, number 188 overall in the class of 2025. Pushes that exit velo around 105. This kid gets a hold of one, going to do some damage, but we do have a pretty fierce wind going on, as we had all weekend long. As you can see, our camera shaking. Got wind advisories here in this part of Georgia up until tomorrow afternoon, so we could continue to see that be an issue here. I know it's an issue on my microphones out there trying to get some interviews and stuff. Got to pull interviews into the dugout. You have wind whipping across those microphones isn't fun for anybody.
Absolutely. I feel like we've basically had the same few weeks here over and over.
Essenberg lines out to left field. Runner's going to retreat to first. One more on Essenberg, a showcase in February at the Max, which was also the site of the Super 60. He had exit velos of 101, 102.1, and 105.1. That's just getting it done.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, this is Anthony Massa, now up to the plate for Lincoln Way West Warriors. Wisconsin Platteville signee, 6'1", 189. Plays third base and shortstop. Big swing and a miss.
Went back to the good fastball there after getting the out on the breaking pitch, the at bat before. So got Eisenberg just a little bit out in front of that breaking ball. I got him just off the end of the bat to left field, and obviously, like you said, the wind blowing in definitely is not the hitter's friend today.
Runner's taken off and throw down. Got him. Nice pitch and catch there to get the second out. So Jacob Willis gets caught in the steal attempt at second base, and there's now 2 down for Engelenhoven.
Kind of expected him to run there. At least Liberty did with the few pickoff attempts, and then when he did go, they were able to gun him down there at second. So really good job behind the plate to help your pitcher out and get your second out of the inning.
We're seeing near splits from Zach Meyer as he went down to get that ball. Like the John Claude Van Damme splits back there behind home plate.
we see more and more of that now with guys kind of going down to the knee, getting really low, being able to try to get that low pitch for a strike. So more flexible than I am. So good for them.
Yeah, there he's way down there. Used to be you'd have a little squattier guys behind the plate, and now you gotta be able to move pretty well. Thought they had the K to end the inning against Massa, but no can do. Here comes the other one, another pitch from Englandhoven. Going to get it there. All right, and that's going to do it for that at half of an inning. And Englandhoven keeping them scoreless, and we remain scoreless here, and we'll be back with more shortly from the Spring Break Experience. You're watching live action from LakePoint Sports.
Next. Next. Stop.
We got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one,
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete in all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf.
Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
We're scoreless as we continue here with this game of the day from the Spring Break Experience at LakePoint Sports. Cory McCartney along with Prep Baseball Georgia's Avery Hunt. Lincoln Way West against Olentangy Liberty. Colin McCarty on the mound for Lincoln Way West. He's now facing off against Nick Vittorini for Olentangy Liberty. He's going to be followed in the order by Brady Bonacci and A.J. Clymer. Vittorini skies that one into right center. Right fielder going to camp underneath it for the first out. So here is Brady Bonacci, the hero of Game 1. If anyone that was catching that matchup, a 6-1 deficit that Olentangy Liberty faced. They marched back to win that one. Bonacci coming through with the game-winning single in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's a heck of a way to start off a season for Olentangy Liberty as they come down here and get some good vibes rolling with a walk-off victory to open things up. Bonacci shoots that one foul.
It was an exciting game to watch, obviously, with the walk-off finish, but I feel like, you know, every time I walked by, there was a play at the plate.
Yeah.
So definitely pushing the issue on the base pass from both squads. So I feel like I saw 5 or 6 just plays at the plate. So that's always exciting to watch.
Yeah, it's awesome. I saw one ball bounce back behind, and the Homewood Flossmoor pitcher catches it glove side, righty, catches it glove side, flips it back to get the play at the plate. So, I mean, we just saw some athleticism from the pitching position during those home plate plays as well. And, yeah, just a fantastic game to open things up for us here. Talking about Bonacci, 6'2", 200, runs a 60 and 6.73, exit velo around 96, plays for the Triple Crown Royals. There's a number of these Olentangy Liberty players that play for this Triple Crown Royals team. He's now facing a 2-2 count against Colin McCarty. Yeah, talking to Lincoln Way West coach Jake Zeich, he said they had a number of issues getting down here. Their bus was late. They had travel issues getting down. They thought they were going to be on the field last night around like 6 o'clock, and they ended up getting on the field around 8 by the time they get to their hotel. So can't blame these guys if they've been a little bit out of sorts, but obviously it's time to play ball and here and ready to get things rolling as they open up their action here. in the spring break experience.
Absolutely. He called me. He was like, you're not going to believe this, but we're going to be like 8 o'clock. I was like, that's fine. We'll make it work. And I was actually coming back had left and was coming back for our finish for our March Madness tournament yesterday, and I saw like one of the charter buses off on the side ramp, and I called him. I was like, hey, this isn't y'all. Is it like I can start picking guys up and bringing them over here? And he's like, unfortunately, no. We're still in Illinois. So I was like, okay. Well, I figured I would at least offer to try to help out a little bit.
So Bonacchi goes out on strikes for the second out. Here's A.J. Clymer. You know, anything can happen when you're making the trips that these players are having to make and these teams are having to make to get down here. Clymer 2026, 6'0", 170.
It's good to see it. Looks like we got a good crowd for all of our games this week. So, you know, with all the travel involved, that's always good to see. And I always like to see the stands full here at LakePoint. So that's a good look for us as well. And glad everybody was able to make it down safely.
Yeah, the clubhouse store is open. Talked to Krista Miller over there. So she said, I know a lot of the parents aren't coming down with these kids. A lot of them are riding down on charter buses. So she's pushing the Mother's Day angle to try to get the players to go in there and say, hey, we have a new women's store kiosk, so get over there. And another strikeout. So a strong inning from Colin McCartney. We remain scoreless. We are through 1.5 here in our game of the day from LakePoint Sports. We'll be back with more from the spring break experience.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
Marching on here at LakePoint Sports, this is the spring break experience. We've got Olentangy Liberty against Lincoln Way West. Cory McCartney joined by Prep Baseball George's Avery Hunt. We're scoreless through 1.5 so far, and you know, we looked at these matchups, and early in the season, we've talked about this with a lot of the Georgia guys who have a month and a half under their belts at this point, that the pitching was going to probably be ahead of the hitting. When you look at you know, guys kind of getting into the flow of things, I think we kind of saw that a little bit with the first game, especially with that Olentangy Liberty team. I mentioned they weren't used to the velo that they were going to see, which was maybe a little bit down from what they've often see in their practices and whatnot, but pitching is certainly setting the tone as we look at the way this matchup's going so far.
Absolutely. I mean, two really good arms on the mound here for both teams. You know, one from the left side, one from the right. I mean, being able to mix speeds, command the fastball. Obviously, in conditions like this with the wind blowing, it's a little chilly out. Maybe not, you know, that don't always see that, but both guys have done a really good job of pounding the strike zone with both pitches, kind of messing with that timing, kind of like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, and a tall task certainly for Lincoln Way West, going against one of the best right-handers not only in the state of Ohio but the nation here in Parker Van Englenhoven, and that one going out to somewhere in the outfield seemingly. Camera's not helping us out on that one.
Looks like we were able to make the catch there as they throw it around the infield. So
pops out to center field, so Brady Schneer, who we had talked about during his AB, Thomas Moore signee, able to make that catch. So apologies to Brady for the cameras missing that one. That's in for a strike. Now I'm going to see Lucas Acevedo. That was Jack Linko who popped out to center field. Ben Shea is going to, the DH, is going to be the third hitter in line for Lincoln Way West in this one.
Took our off a throwback there a little bit, bounced away, but we're good. He's going too good. Like, hey man, we just give me the ball back. Let's go.
That's right. Yeah, I'll be interested to join. We're gonna, as I mentioned before, Cole Crafton, the Louisville signee, is going to be joining us. Parker Van Englenhoven, a Louisville commit, they met for the first time ahead of this game. So be interested to see what he thinks of his potential future teammate. Chopper to short, nice jump throw, able to get the out. Nice play again We saw that all weekend long for our March Madness action, and you're now seeing it there at shortstop for Olentangy Liberty as Nick Vitorino makes a jump throw across to get the second out. So nice athletic play at second base, excuse me, at shortstop from Nick Vitorino.
We've seen a lot of that here in our last two broadcasts. Guys flashing the leather at shortstop. Good play right there on a little bit of a slow roller. Ball got away from us on the throw around again. They've got the baseball part down. It's the throw around to keep everybody loose that we're struggling a little bit here.
Well, if you got the fundamentals down, but you're messing up on the fun stuff, I think most coaches will take that.
Things that aren't really that that don't affect the game a whole lot. So yeah, they'll take that.
That's right. Yep. Coach Ty Brenning will more than take that. All right, here's Ben Shea. Ben is a Loras College signee, 2024, obviously, 5'10", 167.6. You know you're trying to get up to 168 when you say your weight is 167.6. You're hoping that they're rounding at that point. So.
I always round down. Yeah, well,
Parker wanted that one on the outside.
A little bit different. Guys are trying to bulk up.
That's right.
I'm like, hey, man, yeah. 0.9. I'll round that down to
there
the lower
you go.
number.
It's not full. Low setup. He skies that one into left field. Camp underneath it to make the out. Another clean inning for Parker Van Engelenhoven and Olentangy Liberty. We remain scoreless here at LakePoint Sports. We'll be back with more shortly. You were watching the Spring Break Experience.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. Cory McCartney, Prep Baseball, Georgia's Avery Hunt as we roll along in our Game of the Day action from the Spring Break Experience. We got Lincoln Way West against Olentangy Liberty. We're scoreless, and we've seen, we've talked about it a couple times already. Starting pitching, setting the tone, and you got to be kind of really impressed with what we've seen from Colin McCarty and Parker Van Engelenhoven so far.
Absolutely. We were talking about earlier, both guys been able to pound the strike zone with multiple pitches. Keep hitters off balance, and it always helps when the wind's blowing in 20 miles an hour from the outfield. So, pitcher's best friend. So, both guys have done a really good job commanding the strike zone and mixing speeds, so keeping guys off balance. So, really good job by those guys.
All right, we're rolling along here. Colin McCarty continues on the mound. That one is going foul. This is Ryan Stickle, the number 9 hitter for Olentangy Liberty. Then we're back to the top of the order with Andrew Leonard and Aiden Dean. McCarty misses to make it 1-1. Saw the Olentangy Liberty players all had boxed lunches from Subway in between innings. And I said, guys, we've got the varsity over there. We got Chick-fil-A. We got all this stuff. And you guys are mowing down here on some Subway. And they said, there's nothing wrong with Subway. So I'm just trying to open them up to the many cuisine options that we have here outside the campus.
Going back to the playing days, that was always interesting to see between doubleheaders what you got to eat. So that was always a big part of it. But maybe we can get them down on the varsity or some Chick-fil-A maybe.
That's right. Well, it's better than having the team mom or dad that has to pack everybody's snacks, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly. Home-cut peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
That's right.
Subway's probably a little bit better than that.
The count is full to Stickle. Here comes McCarty's delivery. Shoots that one into right field. It's going to go foul. The AB is going to continue. Stickle, 5'7", 130. He's a 2026, plays for Ohio Elite, another team that we've seen here quite frequently, especially in the fall months. Remains a 3-2 again. Payoff pitch is going to lead off walk to Stickle. So we're back to the top of the order, and Andrew Leonard. Leonard, 5'10", 175. He's the number 30 shortstop in Ohio. At this point, remains uncommitted. 91 exit velos. Shoots that one into center field. Camps underneath it. Makes the out. The runner's going to retreat to first.
It's a pitcher you love that after, after walking your leadoff guy, you get a first pitch out on the next hitter, so it kind of settles you back in, gets you back in the flow of things. Maybe you're ground ball away from getting out of it here.
Back to Aiden Dean, 2025, 5'11", 160. McCartney's up to 44 pitches. Throw over, keep Stickle, the runner, at first. Let him know he's thinking about him. Miss, going to make it 1-0.
Interested to see if we see any movement at first, maybe a little hit and run action here before the middle of the order comes up. So see if they go to look to get the guy in motion at first base.
You got a full slate of games for this Olentangy Liberty team as the runner is not going to take off. You mentioned they played Homewood Flossmoor earlier today, trailed 6-1, ended up winning on that walk-off single. Then they play them again on Tuesday along with Rockbridge, and then Friends Select in Paintsville on Wednesday, and close with Paintsville and Stillman Valley on Thursday. So these guys got a whole lot of games they've got to play throughout this matchup. Meanwhile, Lincoln Way West, they play Pikeville on Tuesday, Westbrook Christian on Wednesday, and Rockbridge on Thursday. Olentangy Liberty's just like getting half their season out of the way in terms of game count by the time they leave.
Get 8 of them in quick. Yeah. He called me and said, I'm going to ask you a crazy question. He's like, can I do 8 games? I was like, we can make it work. But yeah, man, it actually worked out. So, yeah, they said they wish wanted to get a lot of work in with their guys. And so, yeah, was able to make it work for those guys. It's be a full week for them, especially for arms and everybody playing games. So they'll be busy during their time down here.
So take us inside this a little bit. You got Rabun Gap, a team that is a local team, obviously, here in Georgia, not nearly playing nearly the amount of games. They're actually on just playing one. They got Pikeville on Thursday. How did you kind of work that in to get some of the local teams, the runners going to take off and unable to, they're not going to get them. They're going to have stolen base. But take us inside that a little bit, how you kind of were able to balance the schedule out and bring in some teams just to get, maybe 1 or 2 games.
Absolutely. I mean, with every team's specific request, obviously, with, how many games they're looking for their varsity and JV guys. So, some teams are playing 2 games. Some teams are playing, like, Liberty here is playing 8 games just to make it work. And we have a good relationship with the guys at Rabun Gap. And he was like, hey, man, like, if you have any games that week, I'd love to get in there. And at the first, I was like, we don't, and then there were some changes. Guys, had to cut down on some games, obviously, just with, the amount of games they're allowed to play in each state. And I was just able to call him like, hey, man, you good with 1 game on Thursday at 4 o'clock? And he was like, yeah, we'll do it. Let me check with the AD. And we got set up, and so we're lucky to kind of makes my life easier on the scheduling side. So lucky to have those guys here, and a lot of them, they're a little further away, so nice to see them here at LakePoint and have our scouting guys get a look at those guys as well.
Here's Parker Van Englenhoven again. Shoots that one foul. Yeah, Aiden Kitchings, the Missouri commit, going to catch up with him while they're here on Thursday. So, yeah, just an interesting opportunity for them to come in and see some teams that they, may not get to see. Obviously, early in the season, everybody, likes to look outside their region for matchups. And I think as the season goes on, you just want to see somebody other than the teams that are in your region. So you can get somebody out of state, it's all the better. McCartney steps off. Van Englenhoven sends that one foul. Looking to cash in. He's got runners at first and second. Both reaching via walks from McCartney, who is up to 51 pitches here on the top of the third. Sends the 0-2, misses on the outside. When starting to play havoc on our cameras again.
See him kind of bouncing around there when the wind picks up.
Yep. Yeah, we're under a wind advisory here in this part of Georgia for the next 24 hours, and that one's into left field, unable to make the play. One run's going to score. Van Englenhoven on his way into second base. His second run's going to score. So Parker Van Englenhoven backing up his work on the mound with a 2-run double as he makes a waves to the Olentangy Liberty dugout there, letting them know got some love for you here at second base as I've put us up ahead 2-0 here in the top of the third inning.
It's a good piece of hitting there. Line drive to left was skipped by the left fielder for a double. So, really good piece of hitting and get the 2-0 lead.
Well, now standing at second base is Parker Van Englenhoven. He got Zach Meyer, the catcher, now up to the plate looking to build on his pitcher's exploits. Cardi 53 pitches now. Finds himself in a 2-0 deficit. Comes the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Shooter Hunt and I talk about this a lot, and he likes to call it the Shohei Ohtani effect, with the amount of guys who are, obviously seen as pitchers, primarily pitchers, but it just seems like a lot of guys now are getting more of an opportunity. Zach Meyer shoots that one to left field. This time, left fielder able to make the play for the first out. The second out. How many guys just get more of an opportunity to be able to do more at the plate in play positions, and maybe in past years where a coach had a real high level arm that was like, you're PO, we can't have you out there doing too much. But it just seems like anymore, and you look back at guys like Braden McKay that was at Louisville. It just seems like a lot of coaches are more and more willing to allow guys the opportunity to go out there and just be ball players, I think, which has got to be a welcome sight for a lot of guys that are especially in the position of a guy like Parker Van Englenhoven.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of guys, pitching is so important in this game, and if you have a guy that can do both, it's kind of one of those things, and it's like, I don't know if they can do both, and you kind of see, Shohei do what he does at the big league level, and nobody is him. Obviously he is a one-of-one talent, but just seeing guys being able to do both, and it's like, hey, this is possible if you manage it the correct way, and kind of give some of those guys that are such dominant arms that can still swing it. Gives those guys to kind of the opportunity to do both and kind of progress in both, which I think is awesome to see.
I will tell you though, I not to get too baseball philosophical here, but I am somewhat surprised that Ohtani is the first one to really get it done at the major league level, because in the U.S. there's just been such a push over. You can look back at like the last 10 to 15 years of guys doing it and doing it well at the college level. And I go back to Braden McKay, who was again the John Olerud winner, multi-time John Olerud winner, is the best two-way player in the nation. Ends up going to the Tampa Bay Rays, and you thought, okay, maybe they're going to give him a chance to do both, and they end up making him go in one direction. It just kind of felt like we were on the cusp of somebody doing that at the big league level, coming out of the college ranks, and it took a phenom of worldwide proportions to really open eyes to it. But I think we're going to see more and more of it. I think you're going to see teams more willing to allow guys the chance to do it. You just needed an absolute unicorn to open the doors for everybody.
Absolutely. Like I said, Ohtani is one of one. There's not many guys that can do both at the level that he does it at, and especially like at the big league level with the universal DH in both leagues. It kind of gives guys the opportunity where you can DH in the National League and not have to worry about having to play like left field after you just threw 95 pitches the night before, you know. So I think that rule change kind of opens the door a little bit more for it too, so guys aren't, you know, in the National League forever. You know, no DH, just have to go figure it out. And you have to play a position too, but I definitely think that kind of opens the door for guys like that more.
Absolutely. All right, full count here. Meyer watches that, Schneer, watches that go for ball 4. So Brady Schneer works his way down to first base via walk. Got runners at first and second. So Nick Vittorini's chance now with 2 on. Already up 2-0 here in the top of the 3rd inning.
See a mound visit here, just trying to calm him down a little bit. Had the leadoff walk and then the double to, you know, give Liberty the lead, and now he's just kind of coming out there, letting him catch his breath a little bit, trying to get out of this inning with no more damage.
McCartney is up to 62 pitches. He's allowed 2 hits, both runs earned. He's walked 4, struck out 5. 34 of his 62 pitches have gone for strikes.
Similar to what we were talking about at the beginning of the inning, you know, just being able to find the strike zone, pound the strike zone. It's kind of come back to bite him a little bit here in this inning with the 2 walks. So, you know, just trying to get back in there, find the strike zone, get out of this inning without any further damage, just give your guys on offense a chance.
Vittorini is 0 for 1. Trying to cash in. I think if you're Lincoln Way West and you watch the end of that previous game between Olentangy Liberty and Homewood Flossmoor, and you watch the way that they came back and fought back from 6-1 and how red hot that offense was to end the game, you got to think, man, now we got to roll in. These guys are hot and they're going to step in. The bats are warm and they're ready to take us on. And I think that's what we're seeing here is they're starting to open things up a little bit here in the top of the 3rd inning.
Absolutely. You just kind of like, oh, good. They were kind of asleep for the first 2 or 3 innings offensively, and now it's like, oh, they've woken up, so let's roll in. And you're kind of cold, kind of getting into the thing, just kind of getting the flow of things, and they're ready to go. So, yeah, it's not the most ideal situation.
Sends the 1-0 foul. Got 2 down. A 2-0 Olentangy Liberty lead here in the top of the 3rd inning. Nick Vittorino up to the plate, going to be followed by Brady Bonacci and A.J. Clymer if the inning continues. Parker Van Engelenhoven at first, Brady Schneer, at second, Brady Schneer at first. Gotta think that he probably just goes by BVE instead of people, you know, trying to say his name all the time.
Have to cut it down, I think, a little bit somewhere in there.
1-2 is high, throws over to 3rd, not in time. Van Engelenhoven is going to be safe at 3rd, and Brady Schneer at 2nd as we get a double steal.
Definitely say the Liberty team this event through a game and a half so far is one of the more aggressive teams on the base pass I think I've seen this year in the high school ranks. These guys are always moving and ready to go.
Swing and a miss, and he's going down on strikes, but 2-0 is your lead for Olentangy Liberty as we move along here. You're watching the Spring Break Experience. We'll be back with more shortly from LakePoint Sports.
Next. Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one,
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete and all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf. Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. Cory McCartney, Prep Baseball, Georgia's Avery Hunt. 2-0 is the lead for Olentangy Liberty in our Game of the Day matchup from the spring break experience. And saw Olentangy Liberty, just the offense was rolling at the end of that walk-off win. They keep things going along here. Parker Van Englenhoven comes through with a 2-run double, and now he's back on the mound. He opens up with what gets sent foul from Dan Hodel, Josh Howard, and Caden Kopax to follow for Lincoln Way West as they get toward the bottom of their order.
Let's see if the long stint on the bases there for Van Englenhoven will kind of affect him on the mound a little bit. He was probably out there for probably a good 5-10 minutes, just as that inning progressed. See if that'll affect him at all in this inning.
Pumps that in for a strike. Swing and a miss. It goes down on strikes. So Van Englenhoven starts things off with a bang here in the bottom of the third with a strikeout. I would say the layoff did not affect him.
It did not appear in the first hitter, that is for sure.
And what we saw of him dance around at second base, I mean, obviously you have the option to get a pinch runner for your pitcher.
Absolutely.
Did not take advantage of that because you got an athlete out there at second base, and we saw him steal third in a double steal. Saw him again rope a 2-run double, and now he's out on the mound getting things done as he's pumping in strikes.
Absolutely. That breaking ball so far this outing has been sharp, and he's been able to throw strikes with that and then followed up with the big fastball that we all know about. So he's been really, really impressive so far during this outing.
Yeah, throws a slurve that he said he's been throwing for years. Said he really can't explain much about it. He just whips it in there.
Hey, if it works, it works. There's no, you know what I mean? There's no need to try and change anything.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, they've got him with a fastball, curve, slider, and change. If you missed it pregame, he went through his pitch grips along with that interview. We'll have that all posted to the LakePoint Sports social channels later this week so you can hear even more from Parker. That one goes foul.
In the new baseball world, would we classify the breaking pitch as a sweeper? Is that still
probably, yeah?
Is that still what we're going with the slurve pitch now?
Yep. The count is full to Josh Howard. Howard 5'11", 170, 220, and he's going down on strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts for Parker Van Englenhoven. He's got a smile on his face as he walked down on the mound on that one.
Maybe the pitching ninja K-strut there. That was.
Yep. Got some swag to him now. His demeanor was calm and cool when I had him pregame, but he's starting to show some emotion now. He's going to now face Caden Kopax, the number 9 hitter for Lincoln Way West, and then it's back to the top of the order and Jacob Willis.
See him go to the fastball really early in the count to a lot of hitters, then start mixing in that breaking ball as he moves later into the count. So he slings another fastball in there for a strike, and all of a sudden it feels like every hitter it's 0-2.
Yeah, he's feeling it. I mean, there's no question he is feeling it. Just misses on that breaker, trying to see if he could get him to bite after changing eye levels a little bit. You go with that knee-high fastball, come back with a breaking ball that starts there and drops just like it did there. 3 straight strikeouts, Parker Van Englenhoven twirling his way off the mound. That was impressive.
Absolutely.
We have a 2-0 lead for Olentangy Liberty. We'll be back with more shortly. You are watching the Game of the Day from the Spring Break Experience.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, you'll always find more fun with great brands at the best prices. More of this, and this. So you can get together for a little of that, and a lot more of that. And even some of that, and that's good. Have more fun with great brands at the best prices. Only at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. A solo Cory McCartney here with you for a few minutes. Going to be joined by Louisville signee Cole Crafton from Lincoln Way West in the moment as he makes his way over from his team's dugout to join me for this fourth inning. 2-0 is your lead for Olentangy Liberty as they saw Parker Van Englenhoven deliver a 2-run double, and then he gets on the mound and strikes out Lincoln Way West in order and just showing some swag as he was walking off the mound there with a little bit of twirl. Looking awfully good, and here is Cole Crafton now going to join us. Cole, how you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
Good. This is live television, so you're allowed to just bounce in like on the fly here. Good to have you, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
2-0 deficit for your boys. You are a Louisville commit. Parker Van Englenhoven, a Louisville commit. We saw him out on the mound the last half of an inning. Retires your guys in order. I know you guys met for the first time ahead of this game.
Yeah, we met in the hotel earlier.
So tell me a little bit about what you've liked about a potential future teammate who is out there causing some frustrations for your current teammates.
I mean, his slider is really good. He's been getting us down in counts, 0-2, 1-2, and we should know the slider's coming. Sometimes looks like we don't, and then he's been throwing that slider. Really good stuff.
So Brady Benaki lines out to center field to start things off. Tell me a little bit about Colin McCartney, who we're seeing on the mound. He's up to 69 pitches. Got himself in a little bit of trouble there in the second inning. Tell me a little bit about Colin, the pitcher, and then Colin, the person.
Well, Colin's a great kid. I grew up with him at our junior high all the way through high school. He made a big jump in his velo this past offseason. He was sitting like low 80s last year. He's up to like mid 80s now. He's a curveball and his changeup might be his two better pitches, his off speed. And so far this whole season, he's been doing pretty good.
Line out to left field there for out number 2, and here is A.J. Clymers. Obviously, your team's playing. You're in here with me, not out in the field. You had ACL surgery. Tell me a little bit. You and I talked about this before the game, but take us inside the rehab process, where things are right now, and how things are ultimately looking for you to hit the field for the Cardinals next year.
So it started during football season. It was week 3. I tried to make a cut, and right when I planted, it popped, and right away I knew it was a torn ACL. So then after that, I started doing prehab stuff till the surgery. Surgery was late October, and now I'm almost 6 months in. So right now we've been doing a lot of strength training, getting that quad muscle back to its full strength, trying to get it to symmetrical to my right quad. And then I should be jumping and running soon. And then just started playing catch, which was a good thing. And then swinging, they said about like another month or two. And they're trying to get me ready for fall ball in August with Louisville.
I mean, obviously a frustrating situation for you. You want to be out there as a senior with your guys. I mean, you mentioned growing up with so many of them out along the way. How'd you kind of handle the emotional part of not being able to be out there for your senior year?
It started with football season because that was my senior year, and not being on the sideline, just watching the guys really sucked because I want to be out there. I'm the starting quarterback, get to touch the ball every time, to miss that feeling. And then at first it was like in the off season, I wasn't trying to think about baseball too much because it just sucked thinking about it. But then when the season started, it hit me like I'm really not playing this year.
But obviously the future is ahead for you there at Louisville. What was the communications, then reaction from the coaching staff after, obviously signing day comes in the midst of, I'm sure, all this with you with the injury. But what was the support level like from the Cardinal staff?
Oh, they were all okay with it. They said, "It's okay. Don't worry about it. We're gonna get you back here. Get ready for fall ball. Just keep doing your rehab. Keep getting stronger, and stay on top of everything."
I know there's a huge draw to want to be in the ACC and playing for that Cardinal program. What did you like specifically about them when you had your opportunity to kind of look around, the baseball landscape and say, this is the place for me?
It started with Coach Schneider. He was the one recruiting me back in 8th grade through freshman year, and I would have weekly phone calls with him. He would come out, watch some games. Really nice guy. I loved everything about him. Loved the campus. Coach McDonald knows what he's doing over there. Always making it to the tournament. The campus, I love the field for sure, and just walking around campus, I felt like the place to be at home.
Well, I'm sure your guys certainly missing you out there right now, trailing 2-0 here in the top of the 4th inning. Colin McCartney issues a walk, and now he's got 1 strike down to Andrew Leonard, the leadoff hitter for Olentangy Liberty. So you'd been here at LakePoint Sports before. Tell us a little bit the new fields. You didn't get a chance to see those before. What were your first impressions when you saw the kind of new makeup for everything here?
Oh, it looks sweet. It's top notch over here. Because I was here, we were in the same exact tournament last year during our spring break, and I was here twice this past summer.
Can't get the call on the strike there. I think you thought if he leaned over a little bit more, he'd make things happen. But tell us a little bit about Coach Jake Zeich and what he does in terms of setting the standard for this program. Take us a little bit about the insides and the inner working of this team, as that one shoots into left field for a base hit. Runners get an advance, come out 1st and 2nd now with 2 down in the inning. What's like the baseline expectations in setting a standard for a program?
He's always telling us we got to make the right decisions. We got to know what we're doing at all times. We can't get caught lacking. He's probably he's probably the best coach I've had.
What's he say to Colin McCartney in a situation like this? Obviously there he just comes out and takes the ball from him, but what's he saying to a pitcher after an outing like this where maybe things aren't going his way?
He's usually telling him to stay positive, keep your good posture. Don't let this bring you down for the next time you're going out there.
Obviously we're going to see a pitching change here. We saw McCartney go 82 pitches. He ends up with a line of 3 2/3, allows 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 walks, and 6 strikeouts. So we thought a little bit of him. Looked like he was locked in early. He ends up throwing 44 strikes over his 82 pitches. Things kind of got away from him a little bit. So tell me a little bit. Now we're going to see a pitching change. Who's on the mound now for your Warriors?
That looks like Ben Shea. I'm pretty sure. I think that is. Can't tell.
So Ben Shea, number 7,
yeah,
2024.
That is Ben. Yeah.
Loris College signee. What's Ben's makeup on the mound?
Ben, he's a firm thrower. He has a really good off speed. He's one of our top relievers that we usually bring in situations like this. Mostly middle infielder, but he's also been on the mound for us, helping us a lot. Like last year, helped us a lot in big times.
You guys a year ago go 28-9, end up losing to Lincoln Way East in the sectional semifinals. What was the kind of vibe around the team coming out of that and then going into this next year in terms of, trying to do things a little bit differently and have the season end a way that everybody on that roster wants it to end?
We came out of that game telling ourselves it's going to be a better year next year. And I think we kind of knew that going into the season, that we were going to have a lot better year. And as of right now, starting off 3-0, looks promising as of right now. You
guys entered the year with returning 5 position players, 6 if you include you, 3 pitchers, 6 signees, you and certainly Connor Essenberg, a commit on his way to Kansas State. What did you feel like was the strength of this team?
I feel like it's our teamwork and knowing that we've been playing with each other for so long, our chemistry's there. Growing up with everyone on this team, mostly a senior base team, so we're all kind of familiar with each other.
All right, so Shea's going to start off against Aiden Dean, and then you got Parker Van Englenhoven, the pitcher who we've already seen hit a 2-run double, is looming in the on-deck circle. The throw over to try to keep the runner at bay goes into center field. Just an execution issue there, but nothing hurt. That's always a difficult situation for a pitcher too, when you first come into the game and then you're trying to make that throw over to a base, and you're kind of jumping into things a little bit late. You're not going through the whole pregame warm-up that a normal starter would go through, and then all of a sudden you're trying to throw over to a base. You can understand ball getting away from him there on that throw. Dean skies that one foul. So tell me a little bit about influences for you. Like, who were your guys growing up? Who were those ones that you kind of modeled the game after a little bit when you tried to think about who you were going to pick and choose and take pieces and put them into your own game?
I'd say it's between Bryce Harper and Mike Trout, two outfielder guys just like me. Grew up watching them. Back in the day, it was mostly Mike Trout. Loved his swing. Loved everything about him. And then for the Bryce Harper part, it was more of his swag, trying to copy his swag a little bit.
It's funny how many kids I talk to who love that's what they gravitate towards with Bryce Harper. It's just the way he plays the game, the fire that he brings out there.
Fun and exciting.
I think for a long time, you kind of heard the act like you've been there before. You're not supposed to show emotion, and I feel like in the last 5 years, there's just been like this switch flipped where it's like, no, you're allowed to show emotion as a baseball player.
Mm-hmm.
You're allowed to be out there. You're allowed to be excited when you make a crazy play, and you're allowed to show that emotion. I think we're seeing so much more of that, and I think you can really point to Harper as a guy who a lot of players have looked to as that inspiration for that kind of play. So you're the number 1 right fielder in Illinois, number 4 in the class, number 1 right fielder in the nation, number 74 overall. I'm sure you were hearing the draft chatter. It's still going to be there, despite coming off of the injury. But how have you kind of handled that side of things? Is it more just wait and see? Do you have it's like, look, I have no control over that. Like how do you kind of weigh all that?
Right now we're just gonna wait and see. Nothing set in stone as of right now. Plan is still going to Louisville. Something else happens, it just is what it is. We don't know yet, but still plan is on going to Louisville.
And it's got to be hard too. You just don't know. You just don't know how a team's going to view you, and certainly you've got your own opportunity there in the ACC, and a unique opportunity for you to go there too and be part of a great program. And I feel like either way, you're probably going to feel like you're in a good position no matter what. Full count here to Aiden Dean. Again, got Van Englenhoven in the on-deck circle. Shoots that one into right field. That's going to be trouble. 1 run's going to score. Comes another, not this time. Gets into the play at the plate. Holds on to it. Great throw, great tag. Get one across, though, 3-0. Fantastic throw and a fantastic play there at catch from Josh Howard to get the runner at home. We'll be back with more shortly here from LakePoint Sports. You're watching our game of the day. 3-0 is your lead with Lincoln Way West over Olentangy Liberty, over Lincoln Way West. Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. Cory McCartney, Louisville signee, Cole Crafton from Lincoln Way West. And we were talking about the new fields that are here at LakePoint Sports. This was an absolute undertaking to get these things done. It took just 40 days by Geosurfaces to make this happen. So let's get an inside look at how these fields came together so quickly. So, Cole, you had asked me about how quickly that happened. I said 40 days. We had to get it done. We had a major high school event going on here at the beginning of February. Yeah, the guys down here, they play ball a little bit sooner than you guys do up in Illinois. I'm a Midwestern guy myself, but how do you guys kind of handle that part of it? Because players who are down here in the southern states, they can play ball so much earlier. I mean, they could pretty much play year-round, and you guys are obviously, a little bit of more slaves to the weather. You get down here for the travel season, you're able to do your thing through the high school season, but how do you guys balance that in terms of the development as a player during those fall and winter months when you can't get on the field like they do down here?
Well, there's a lot of we have a bow dome. It's a big dome. We can hit, field, we can do everything in there. We use a local community college to get some swings in indoor. And then there's just so many resources around us for indoor complexes. It's great there.
So do you feel like that narrative then, or that the guys in the South have it better, that they get more opportunities? You guys have found ways around it now. Do you kind of feel like it's kind of leveled the playing field a little bit?
I think so, a little bit, yeah.
I mean, there's still schools like Iowa, where they don't even start their high school season. They don't even play their state championship games until July.
Really?
They're playing a little bit later. So those guys, they'll be down here for the spring and the fall travel seasons. They're pretty much out of it for the summertime because they're playing their high school schedule at that point. But seems to still be an issue in Iowa. Parker Van Engelenhoven sees that one go to second base. It would get the play at first. Looked like it pulled him off the bag, but able to hold on for the first out. So Jacob Willis goes down on the grounder out to first base. And now we're going to see Connor Essenberg. Connor on his way to Kansas State. Tell me a little bit about Connor as a player in total.
He's one of the guys that you'll see play with a lot of emotion. He gets excited a lot. He'll be on the mound. He'll be showing his emotions up there. Great hitter too. Good two-way player. You'll see him piece up a lot of balls throughout the season, a lot of long balls actually. And on the mound, he's a fierce competitor, up to like 90, 91 with a great curveball.
Okay, you talk about the emotion. I see the off-color arm sleeve. I see the sliding mitt. I see the nice bright cleats. Is he a gear guy? Is he a swag guy like that?
He likes stuff to pop out like that.
Are you like that?
Not much of like the arm sleeve and stuff. I'll keep it like team color, but like I used to have the bright orange cleats like that. I had some pink gloves too.
Do you have a sliding mitt?
Yeah, just a plain colored black.
Okay. So Anderson French, I was up at the Prep Baseball All-American game up in September, and absolutely ridiculous. Gave all of them these kind of specially made sliding mitts just for the All-American game. And I asked Anderson French to put together a tutorial on how you quickly get one on, because having coached myself in the travel ranks for a couple years, kids would get on first base and everyone's like messing with them and not getting signs and stuff. Essenberg shoots that one in the left field. That's going to be in for a base hit. That's going to be the first hit of the day for Lincoln Way West. So finally get through against Van Engelenhoven here in the bottom of the fourth inning. See him messing with his sliding mitt at first base there as he straps that on. Yeah, we had a rule that if you couldn't get it on by the time you got a call, then you lost your ability to use one, and it was out until the next tournament. What's Coach Zyk's stance on sliding mitts?
I don't think it's that much of a problem with them, just as long as you said get it on right away so you don't miss any signs or anything. So he's usually okay with that stuff.
Anthony Massa. Anthony, Wisconsin Platteville signee, 6'1", 189. How long have you and Anthony played together?
We've been playing together since our junior high days. Back in 6th through 8th grade, we played at Manhattan Junior High together. And one of our coaches was also a coach for that team, too.
Oh, wow.
Coach Kohlbacher.
So tell me about the growth that you've seen of him as a player, a guy who is going to be playing collegiate baseball as well, as I mentioned, Wisconsin Platteville. How has he progressed over the years in which you've been together?
He's put on a lot of strength since the past couple of years. He's been in the weight room. He's at third base. He's mobile. He can get the nice backhands in the corner, and his arm strength is always there. and his bat is probably his best tool. He's usually spraying balls in gaps, just like that right there.
Good call, man. You got prognostications here as he delivers a run-scoring double. Essenberg crosses home plate in for a run. It's 3-1 Olentangy Liberty here. So talk about that. You talked about his ability to do that at the plate. He absolutely comes through with a run-scoring double.
Yes, he's always going oppo. His approach is always oppo, he's told me. So he's going that left center gap, or the right center gap and right field line, just like as you saw there.
All right, well, he's standing at second base with one down, and here is Concordia University Chicago signee Jack Linko. First baseman, a right-handed pitcher. Pushes that exit velo around 94. Watches that in for a strike. What's Jack's mindset after watching Essenberg come through with that RBI double?
His mindset is, I'm assuming, to stay calm and just keep doing the same job, put a ball in play, try to advance the runner over.
Look at the runner at third. Cameras didn't cooperate with us that time. They didn't switch over, so they get a runner down, but we're going to have a man at first base in the form of Jack Linko. Lucas Acevedo's turn now, the third baseman. 2 down. So unable to advance the runner, and Illinois Chicago commit Acevedo, 20-25. Watches that in for a strike. A guy like Van Engelenhoven that's got 4 pitches, that's got that tough to read slurve. Is he a little bit easier as you see him a second time, or is the stuff so varied that it really doesn't matter?
I think the second time around should be a lot easier. Knowing what pitch is coming at which count should be easier after that first at-bat.
Still seeing some weaker contact, but able to dribble that one into left field for another base hit. So we are seeing the bats come alive a little bit here for Lincoln Way West, down 3-1 here in the bottom of the 4th. So we're seeing guys make contact. We saw some struggles trying to pick up on that secondary stuff the first time around. Now here's Ben Shea, who's moved into the pitching role with 2 down, 2 on, 2-run deficit in the bottom of the 4th. Sends that one foul. Does seem as though they're seeing Parker a little bit better this time around through the order. He's up to 60 pitches. Well, that one in up near Shea's heads, and the runners both going to advance 90 feet. Tying run now at second base. So do you have a major in mind as you look ahead to what's potentially waiting for you at Louisville?
As of right now, I want to go into the sports administration, like sports business kind of stuff, because I want to stay around the game of baseball for as long as I can. Maybe be like a sports agent or something like PBR or Perfect Game, and then stay there as long as I can.
Nice, okay. But obviously playing the game for as long as you can before any of that other stuff comes to be. That's right.
Right.
All right, Van Engelenhoven gets him down on strikes. Cole Crafton, listen, man, thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it. You're welcome, man. 3-1 deficit for his Lincoln Way West squad as we move along. You're watching the game of the day here from LakePoint Sports. We'll be back with more shortly.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. Cory McCartney solo here for the moment. Ian Smith from Prep Baseball Georgia is going to join us shortly. Some great stuff there from Cole Crafton, the Louisville signee for Lincoln Way West. And he obviously was good luck for his squad. They came in trailing 3-0. He gets a run across the board for him via some prognostication there, as we saw Connor Essenberg come through and get the first run of the game for them. And the first hit as he's followed by Anthony Massa coming through with that RBI hit. So 3-1 is the lead for Olentangy Liberty as we move along here in the 5th inning. We're going to be again joined by Ian Smith, and this is our game of the day here from LakePoint Sports. And here the LakePoint Sports studio walls shaking here a little bit as Ian Smith is coming in to join me here. So should have told Ian to come into the side door, so we're using an additional door here with the wind causing us some problems here. All right, we move along here in the 5th inning, this matchup and the spring break experience, and seen Parker Van Engelenhoven on the mound for the duration of this one for Lincoln Way West. Ben Shea has come in relief, and Van Engelenhoven's at the plate right now. Here is Ian Smith stepping in to join us for this 5th inning. Right in time, too, as we talk about the highest ranked player for Olentangy Liberty in this one. And what Ian, one, good to see you. And secondly, what have you liked that you've seen both on the mound and at the plate from Van Engelenhoven?
Van Engelenhoven has been extremely impressive today. In game 1 earlier, leading the comeback with a couple nice barrels, 95 off the bat. In this one, I started on the mound up to 89, living 87 to 88. A lot of run on the fastball. The sweeper is a budding plus pitch for Van Engelenhoven. It's at 73 to 75. Spin was up to 2,700 with 17 inches to sweep. And he has confidence to throw it at any count. He had another single in this one to take the lead, 95 off the bat again. And he looks like a really complete player. And the projection is extremely real at 6'5", 195 as well.
Yeah, I caught up with him pregame. We actually ran an interview with him, and then him going through his pitch grips. And obviously on his way to Louisville, Cole Crafton, who was in here with me, they met for the first time at the team hotel yesterday that they were both staying at. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, future potentially pretty bright for Louisville if they get both of these guys on campus. And Crafton, an interesting player. You think about, somebody who's coming off of an ACL injury, and that one goes to third, cuts across, makes the throw for the second out after Engelenhoven goes down on strikes. A guy that, has the potential there of hearing his name called in the draft, but if not, he feels pretty comfortable about what awaits him at Louisville, and he's just getting his knee ready, and says that while he potentially timing-wise maybe could get back for this high school season, his complete focus, understandably, is on what lies ahead from him and the Cardinals in the ACC.
That makes total sense here. Zach Meyer at the plate right here, another guy who's had some really good swings throughout the day. A big piece in the comeback this morning for Olentangy Liberty, excuse me. Might have said that wrong, but tough name there. But he's had some great swings, plays looks really good behind the plate, and just had a really good day.
I'm a local Ohio, so Olentangy Liberty, so I'll get
Liberty.
you. Yep.
And I was talking about the wrong player here as well.
Yeah, Brady Schneer. Brady Schneer, had to talk to him for a few minutes before the game as well. He's a Thomas More signee.
Okay.
Guy with future games alumni. Talked with Avery Hunt earlier. 103.4 exit velo from him. 6'5", in the 60. 6'1", 190.
Have a day.
13th ranked outfielder in Ohio. Number 101 overall in the class.
I recently saw this team was ranked number 8 in Ohio's inaugural Power 25 yesterday as well. So an impressive ball club coming into this spring.
Yeah, and I think that first game says a lot about a club too. Fall down behind another team 6-1 as they trailed Homewood Flossmoor. Saw Dimitri Heidelberg, the Eastern Michigan signee, open things up for Homewood Flossmoor in that one, but they just clawed their way back. They didn't obviously get the starting pitching that they wanted from that first game, but they were able to fight back and put themselves in position for Brady Benaki to come through with that game-winning single in the 7th, and just there's really probably no better way to start your season off than the way we saw these Patriots do it.
Absolutely not. It was a really gritty performance out of them in Game 1. It was exciting to see.
I was a little worried because I thought I was going to have to walk into their dugout between games and ask for a lineup after they got suffered a tough loss, and they end up fighting their way back. And watching the end of that game over there with the rest of the Lincoln Way West team, I think you watch that and go, man, momentum is definitely. I don't know if I want to go face a team after they've come back and won the way that they have. Maybe you'd rather face one that loses 8-0 as he thought he was walking, but ends up going down on strikes. Nice recovery for Ben Shea with a couple Ks, and he strands one. We'll be back with more shortly. You're watching the Game of the Day here from LakePoint Sports.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports, Prep Baseball. Georgia's Ian Smith joining me, Cory McCartney here as we continue our Game of the Day action from the spring break experience. 3-1 is the lead for Olentangy Liberty over Lincoln Way West. We've seen, again, we keep going back to Parker Van Englenhoven, but he's been such a defining force in what we've seen out of this game. I mean, up until that last half of an inning, we hadn't seen him allow a hit. He's allowed 3 so far. But his team is up 3-1. He's had an RBI double as well. So I think you look at the makeup of this team, and obviously defined by what he's able to do on the mound as one of the top 2026s, not only Ohio, but in the nation.
And this is coming off a year as a freshman where he struck out 71 guys for this team, led the team on the mound. He's just an impressive player. He's only growing. The stuff continues to get better. The confidence, like I mentioned earlier, is just really impressive with Parker. And he just goes out there and knows how to pitch.
So tomorrow, Drew Howenstein's going to be pitching for Olentangy Liberty, Ohio State commit, another number 2026. I talked to both of them about this. I don't know that you can, obviously it's like this in the state of Ohio. There may not be a lot of teams in the nation who have a better 1-2 punch when you think about 2026s than they have from the right side with Van Englenhoven and the left side with Hosenstein.
Absolutely. I actually saw Hosenstein last fall in the PBR Fall Classic. He was here for Bo Jackson and was outstanding. The curveball is extremely well. He works it up in the mid to high 80s. Knows how to pitch as well. Another guy with 6'5" frame, tons of projection. Like you just mentioned, Van Englenhoven and Hovenstein, the combination of them with the projection and being 2026 class is truly a high-level duo right there.
Yeah, between beyond being a mouthful to say, the both of them, they are a handful for lineups, and we'll see them quite a bit this next summer for that Bo Jackson Elite program. And you think about, what they'll be in the 16U national championship this next summer. I mean, that's gonna be a pretty nasty combination to roll out the two of them when you think about getting into meaningful games within that tournament for that Bo Jackson Elite program.
And you just think about the upside for this high school team as well. Those two guys just being sophomores and just so much experience and so much upside with those two that you're looking at a team that could be good for the next few years.
Yeah, I know Coach Ty Brenning is awfully excited about what he has in this duo. Is that one is bunt and foul.
Yeah, it's what they look like if you're drawing it up.
That's what they look like is a Brian Snicker idiom I've heard many times from him talking about when he sees a pitcher out there, and he'll say that's what they look like.
You see that 3 pitches, 6'5", easy delivery.
Howard shoots that one into right field, and that's trouble. The ball's going to get away, but he's going to stay at first base, just out there in no man's land for the 4th hit of the day for Lincoln Way West. And now with 1 down, they find themselves potentially in business, facing a 3-1 deficit here in the bottom of the 5th.
Making Van Engelhoven work here in the later innings after looking fantastic for the first 4.
He's up to 71 pitches.
Okay.
So we'll see what transpires here as this one continues. Could end up being the last inning for him.
These being just their first games of the year for Olentangy Liberty, so you're not thinking a huge pitch count here.
Well, I go back to the Georgia Dugout Club, and we saw, first outings for a lot of teams in that. Guys like Dane Moeller, high-level arms here in the state of Georgia that we saw, around the 3rd inning, things kind of started to get problematic for him. We're already seeing, Van Engelhoven here into the 5th, so he's wearing a little bit longer than we saw some of the other pitchers that were getting their first outings of the season. So an opportunity for him to get out of here with his team way ahead as we see the throw over to first.
He's the guy who's played every inning of today as well, so on both sides of the ball.
So I've not you have not had you for a broadcast since those Georgia Dugout Club events.
Yes,
You've obviously continued to hit the road here for the high school events for Prep Baseball Georgia. Who has impressed you over these last couple weeks, and who do you feel like is really those defining teams in the state of Georgia right now?
I've been talking about them a bunch lately, but a defining team is the Stars Mill team as well. I think that might be the deepest lineup in the state. I talk about them a lot. All they do is hit. They've got timely pitching all year long. They're a 4A team, not playing the top level competition in Georgia, but they're still winning. They're beating teams by a lot. They're scoring a ton of runs, and they're just a tough out every time you see them. Talking about some players that I've really loved. A guy we saw at GDC, Reed Worley, Cherokee 2025 right-hander. A guy who continues to shove. Might be the best pure stuff in the 2025 class for the state of Georgia. It's only taken up. He's now working out of the stretch and out of the windup, which is a new development for him. And he's throwing a four-seamer along with the sinker, which is making the profile jump even more when you add in that plus sweeper. At the plate, Cade Brown, a guy who's just coming off our National Player of the Week. A guy I went and saw go crazy against Grayson. Hit 2 massive home runs, a big two-run shot in this first, and then ended the game, or didn't end the game, but took a big lead, hitting a grand slam late to put him up by 4. He hits everything, times up everything. He's probably hit 500 the last 2 springs in Georgia, which is quite outlandish. And then another guy we saw at the Georgia Dugout Club, Gino Goralski, center fielder for Denmark. He's hitting nearly 500 as a leadoff sophomore. The kid just hits. He has one of the most advanced approaches we've seen at the plate this year, and it's just been fantastic to see him play.
Yeah, I did some stuff with Gino over the fall season. Just a really, he's one of those kids that where some guys have a better understanding of their swing mechanics than others do, and I think when those are ones you're listening to, you kind of earmark those players to be like, I think that's going to be one to watch. I think when they have that understanding of themselves,
it's a cerebral approach.
Yeah, I think it really makes you kind of take notice, and Gino is certainly one of the ones that really has a ultra rare understanding of who he is as a hitter.
Absolutely.
So we saw a mound visit there for Van Engelhoven. So we now got 2 on and 1 down here in the 5th inning, 3-1 lead for Olentangy Liberty.
Trying to roll one up right here.
So you're going to go see Alex Hernandez at Forsyth Central, as you said?
Pitch tonight against Gino, actually. Yeah, I'm going out. I'm going to go see them play Denmark. We got all 3 of us are out tonight. So Hudson's going to be at, I believe, at Hashmar. Tough name as well, but he's going to be seeing. We'll come back to that, on that one. But we switched up. There's a lot of games this week. There's a lot of huge region games this week. East Forsyth and Cherokee Bluff play a big 3-game set. I should be out there Wednesday night, as well as a big 3-game set between Georgia and Atlanta Christian, Greater Atlanta Christian, and Kell, who have both been really hot over the last few weeks, and a huge region matchup there.
Well, we talked about it your first days here. You don't have to go far to find some high-level baseball here in the metro Atlanta area.
It's been fantastic.
Jacob Willis up to bat right now for Lincoln Way West as we talk about some high-level baseball going on right here. Connor Essenberg, the Kansas State commit, who got things rolling along this last half of an inning as he goes down on strikes. Or no, excuse me, walking off like he was down on strikes.
Willis still at bat here. Essenberg on deck.
We don't have our scoreboard, so I didn't realize how many strikes there were. When we have the non-prep baseball events, we don't necessarily have our scoreboard with pitch aware and the TrackMan data that you're used to seeing on our broadcasts.
Tough pitch there. Good.
Runs the count full.
And on deck, Essenberg had a really great at-bat last time up, smoked the ball with 2 strikes. And it's not a guy you really want to face at Kansas State commit. You're sitting on deck with runners on. Pull foul.
Up to 82 pitches now for Van Englenhoven. I feel like this inning has got to be it for him.
Body language looking a little tired.
He's seemingly 1 pitch away from ending this if he can get a ground out. So he's going to get a strikeout. Nice pitch there to get the K. That's number 5 on the day for him. Excuse me, number 6 now. Game changer updating 6 Ks. So here's a great matchup again. Van Englenhoven on his way to Louisville. Essenberg on his way to Kansas State. Swing and a miss, and the throw back to first.
Power on power there, blowing a fastball by him.
As Cole Crafton said, Essenberg, a guy who plays with a lot of emotion, a lot of swag, shows it in all the standout gear. The kid can absolutely rake as well. I mentioned in one of his earlier ABs out of the Max in Chicago in February, had exit velos of 101, 102.1, and 105.1 in a round of BP.
Yeah, you can see the strength in the frame for sure with Essenberg. And he knows how to find the impact in the barrel as well.
6'1", 189, 198, excuse me. Dances away from that.
Running inside a little bit.
Again, he's the #1 first baseman in Illinois, the 5th ranked player overall in the class of 2025. Also gets on the mound, runs it up to 90. Watches that for ball 2.
You can see Van Englenhoven being careful here with this at bat. It's a tough one here. Don't want to give up a mistake.
I think we've seen him do a nice job of changing eye levels as he goes to that secondary pitch and sets a guy up with a fastball, comes back with that breaker that starts the same spot and ends down at the catcher's knees. We'll see if he's doing the same thing here to set up Essenberg.
He's throwing the changeup early in the outing as well, early in counts, in the low 80s for strikes as well.
Oh, nice swing and miss. Oh, unfortunately, it looks like Essenberg goes down in a heap at home plate.
Oh, no.
Unfortunate situation as he's down, but see if he's able to gather himself and continue this at bat.
Knee.
Tough to see what happened there in that moment. We're going to let the coaches take care of Connor Essenberg. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with more shortly here from LakePoint Sports. You're watching our game of the day from the Spring Break Experience.
Next. Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one.
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete in all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf.
Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. We broke away for a few seconds there while the coaching staff was helping Connor Essenberg, the Kansas State commit for Lincoln Way West, who was down in a heap there for a moment, but it looks like he's up and walking around in his own power. It momentarily looked like he had suffered an apparent leg injury, but looks like he's going to continue this at bat. This is some Warrior stuff from a Warrior here from Lincoln Way West. If, however you guys grade out toughness, Ian Smith, I think Connor Essenberg's getting an 80 grade moment here.
Have to be an 80 grade toughness here. That looked painful.
Came down to a heap on a swing from an offering from Parker Van Englenberg.
The foot just got caught in the swing. Body went, foot didn't.
Yeah. Took me for out of sorts that I'm combining Parker Van Englenhoven and Connor Essenberg's names into one. Full count, 2 down in the inning. Essenberg's continuing this at bat. This is some tough stuff. And he's taking off running at first base. I mean, man, that's some. He nearly beat it out. I don't know how you. That was some.
That was tough.
Yeah, to not only continue the at bat, but to go out there and get a hard chopper that he hits and then decide.
Nearly beat it out.
Nearly beat it out. Man, that was some impressive stuff. I'm supposed to catch up with Connor tomorrow for an interview that we'll air later in our LakePoint Sports social media channels. But I can't wait to talk to him about that moment and just what was he thinking when was he down there in the ground? Did he question, whether or not he was going to be able to continue in the game? And then he continues the at bat. Which was,
am I hurt or am I good? Am I hurt? Am I good?
Yeah, that was awfully impressive. Couldn't cash in though. Olentangy Liberty continues to lead 3-1. As we move on into the 6th inning here in our game of the day from the spring break experience at LakePoint Sports. We've got a bunch of high-level players that are going to be here over the next few days. Who do you have earmarked? Like, are there any other guys that you're really looking to catch a view
Van
of?
Englenhoven was the main one for me. I want to come back tomorrow and see Hoppinston as well, as we just mentioned that as well. Rapin Gap's got a few guys as a Georgia.
Aiden Kitchens.
Aiden Kitchens as a Georgia team. We need to see them more often. As well as Mars Hill has a few guys as well. And I want to check in again on Homewood Flossmoor as well. They had a few guys I really enjoyed this morning, including Heidelberg.
Yeah, Demir Heidelberg is a blast to watch. Eastern
body.
Michigan commit. He's been to an Eastern Michigan commit for a couple years now, but he roped this RBI triple into the left field corner.
With ease.
Yeah, just with ease. I think the bat looked explosive. He looks like a guy who's really athletic out in the field, too. So definitely a watch without question there. And then you go into the next week of this, and we've got Archbishop Moeller coming with Kellen Klosterman, and that's going to be a lot of fun to watch that team as well. So hats off to Avery Hunt, who we had in here earlier, getting some really notable teams, some notable players coming over here in this two-week stretch.
It's quite impressive and enjoyable to wake up and have baseball in your backyard during spring break. It's pretty fantastic.
All right, we're going to see Ben Shea out there continuing for Olentangy Liberty on the mound. He's got Nick Vitorino leading things off for Olentangy Liberty. He's going to be followed by Brady Bonacci and A.J. Clymer. Shea's only thrown 17 pitches in this relief effort. You heard Cole Crafton say that this is a pretty normal role for Shea coming in and being one of their main guys coming out of the pen.
Doing it well. Facing a tough lineup again, like we mentioned. Filling up the zone.
Starts off 0-1 to Vitorino. That's in for a strike. I mentioned it from the before the broadcast started. Producer Mason Monroe, high school coaches, so much more organized than anything else that we're seeing here at this point of the year.
Oh yeah.
They come in with their lineups. They've got their rosters. They know exactly what's going in. And no knock on travel ball coaches. It's just sometimes tournament to tournament, day to day, they don't know who's available. They don't know who's got to go off and do something else, who might be, one of their players who is also doubling up for, playing for a different level team for the same organization, playing for, a high school team as well, and a swing and a miss, and Ben Shea gets him down on strikes. This has been a strong relief effort so far from Ben Shea as he gets out number 1 via the K. And here's Brady Bonacci.
Hero in game 1. Taking good swings throughout the day. Had a really good showing at a scout day a few weeks back. It actually might have been last month. Led in nearly almost every offensive category up in Ohio as well. It was an impressive showing for him.
Sends that one foul. He runs the exit velo around 96.6. As I mentioned, he's one of a number of kids that plays for this Olentangy Liberty team that are part of the Triple Crown Royals program. 6'2", 200 pounds. Currently uncommitted. How much are you hearing from guys from Illinois, Ohio, Missouri that aren't able to get here for this event and want you guys to put eyeballs on some players?
I definitely was reaching out to as many guys as I could this week. I heard a lot. I'm really close with a few guys in that area, guys like Diego Dolores and Andy Soroka are two of my favorite guys, and they told me a huge list of guys to follow this week. So Essenberg was a big one for me, and there's another guy as well that I need to see on Lincoln Way West. And excuse me, I keep dropping names on myself here today, but Lucas Acevedo is somebody I definitely want to watch this week as well.
Yeah, we saw Lucas already a few times. Illinois, Chicago commit, sends that one foul. Yeah, one of the better 2027s for Olentangy Liberty. Unfortunately, saw him out there with a arm brace on as we looked through their roster, and unfortunately unable to be out there playing. And that was Grayson Davis, who's looks like he had some sort of a collarbone or arm injuries, wearing a sling. 2027 outfielder, plays for Bo Jackson Elite, so we'll get you back here, Grayson, at some point, I'm sure, in the summer. I always like to look at what the prep baseball scouts are saying about players. They say he's a premier 3-sport athlete, and it shows in the box. So that's somebody I was kind of hoping to be able to see, and then you go out there and see him with a sling on. And it's an unfortunate turn for him, for me, and obviously for him on being able to play out there. But Brady Bonacci's going to find his way to first base, and now we're going to see A.J. Clymer. Clymer is 0 for 2. 6 foot, 170 pound, 2026. Plays for Ohio Elite, who we saw here many a time, especially in the fall travel season. Shea pumps that in for a strike.
Shea really been working that outside half. Same with Colin McCartney, starter as well for Lincoln Way West. He was really filling up the outer half of the fastball today. Just really kept hitters off balance. It was hard to square up when you're living on the edge like that, just filling up the black.
Yeah, we mentioned these rosters and how impressive. Like, so Coach Jake Zeich, the Lincoln Way West, and we can see this there, but even putting the commitments on the list,
huge.
I mean, that's like next level stuff. So I don't realize that if he realizes how easy he's making life on everybody that's covering and absorbing his team, absorbing and observing his team, as the flip over to second is in time and able to get the runner at first. But that's a big deal to be able to do that. Not a lot of coaches. It's the little things. It's the little things that make you happy when you're doing this stuff and don't have to go and do all the research yourself. Even though I had copious notes well before Jake had given me their roster, but certainly appreciate the effort there. So Clymer is on first base. The runner is out at second. So now we're going to see Ryan Stickle. Ryan's hitless in his 1 AB so far. Ryan's hitless because he's drawn a couple walks. He's got 2 of his team's 6 walks. And he's also scored 2 of the 3 Olentangy Liberty runs. So they get him on via walk. It's been a good omen.
Do a job. On base, scoring runs.
I feel like, so my son, the 14U player, as a coach, I don't ever remember saying do a job, but it feels like do a job has become a part of the baseball vernacular here in the last couple years.
Speaking on doing a job, I went and saw Noonan last week, and they have a really impressive freshman in Hayes McGinnis, who's a everyday starter for them. Came up to bat 5 times, didn't get a hit one of the times, but was on base every single time. 3 walks, hit by pitch twice, and then ended up stealing 5 bases and scoring 5 runs. Like, you can't have a more productive day without a hit. I remember I was listening to the dugout of that game as well. He didn't see a pitch for 8 at bats. And as a freshman, to stay locked in and not be chasing through 8 at bats without seeing a strike is is pretty impressive to
So
see.
let's go down that road a little bit there. So you obviously show up to a game, and these players see you, and everyone's kind of like, oh, prep baseball's here. They're kind of everything gets elevated a little bit, and the scouts are here. The scouts are here. How do you gauge a player that has that kind of a day where maybe he doesn't go up there and go 3 for 5, but he's 0 for 5 and he's walked 3 times and scored a couple
He was the
runs?
most impressive player I saw all day. Like to have that kind of approach, to not be chasing, to not be expanding as a young player playing every day on varsity. To see that is just huge strides. Like I'll see a guy go 0 for 3, but he barrels 3 things up. So that's still a great look at somebody. So it's hard to tell, but like to guys to know to stay within their approach, stay within themselves is huge.
Yeah, I think guys worry sometimes about whether or not they're showing out, and sometimes it's other things that show that you guys aren't necessarily looking for, as opposed to those, those loud and crooked numbers that we look for in a box score. Runner advance as he draws a walk, and could have walked his way down to second base, but instead on the run, as A.J. Clymer moves on to second base, Stickle walks again. Again, he's walked a couple times already, and the other 2, he's scored in both of them. So we'll see as Andrew Leonard comes up to bat with Aiden Dean on deck.
We're going to break this open here with 2 outs.
That one is going to be high in for ball 1. Trying to jog my memory there, talking about guys that may not have shown out when a scout went to go see him. Tom Batista was the scout that was a cross-checker going out to see Freddie Freeman. He told me the story that he, back in the day, was told to go look at one Mike Trout for a team, and he said, I watched him across 3 games and he never saw a single pitch to hit. I can't tell you anything about him.
That happened to me last year as well for a guy who went in the top 2 rounds for the Rays last year, Adrian Santana. He was a prep player in Miami last spring. I went and saw him 3 different times, about 4 hours from my house, and he walked 4 times in 3 straight games. So it was tough to get a read on that, but because he also led the state in home runs that year as well. So it was hard to see what was really going on with that, but it's really tough to judge guys when you're not seeing anything for three straight looks, 12 at bats.
Yeah, I talked to Brady House about that before he was drafted by the Nationals, and he was like, man, I used to be able to get so many pitches, and now it's just like I just stand there like no one wants to. And that's why he loved going to area code games. He loved coming here and playing in the high level tournaments at LakePoint Sports, because it was like you knew you were going to be challenged, because you had guys who were trying to show out themselves, and they weren't going to back down just because you've got whatever number prospect label on your resume.
It makes it tough for these guys.
That's the unfortunate thing about getting a resume, is people certainly pitch you differently, but then you look around the Metro Atlanta area, you're seeing guys like that all the time. So it's not as though, Winder Barrow may be in a different part of Georgia where you're not seeing that kind of talent day in and day out, but a guy that you're talking about, going to a Kell game, going to Brookhaven game, that's just the norm, that you're going to see that kind of player. Shoots that one foul. By the way, I am to ask you about this. I'm not trying to put you on the spot on this. Is there a better pitching staff in Georgia than Brookhaven?
Absolutely, or Brookwood.
Brookwood, I'm sorry.
No, sir, there is not. It's as deep as you can go. They have even underclass guys that are showing. There was one game I was thinking about going out to tonight. Jackson Barbary throws tonight for them as well. But all the way down the lineup, you have Barbary shoving. He's got 2 no-hitters this year. You have Charlie Foster with a no-hitter in impressive numbers. You have Clinton Harris up to 98 now this spring. And then you have guys like Jose Rojas at 2026 out of the bullpen, who's been really good. You got a freshman who's been really good out of the pen. It just gets deeper and deeper. If you were to put that staff on any quality Georgia team in the state, they'd be the best team probably in the country. So it's quite impressive to see what they have there.
All right, well, Brookwood players, if you were listening, you heard it from that guy. That pitching staff is a monster to deal with, and Ben Shea putting together a nice relief appearance here for Lincoln Way West, but they trail 3-1. We're going to be back with more shortly. You were watching the game of the day from LakePoint Sports.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, you'll always find more fun with great brands at the best prices. More of this, and this. So you can get together for a little of that, and a lot more of that. And even some of that, and that's good. Have more fun with great brands at the best prices. Only at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
By far.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports as we continue our conversation here over this game between Olentangy Liberty and Lincoln Way West. It's our game of the day from the Spring Break Experience. Prep Baseball Georgia's Ian Smith, along with me, Cory McCartney, and we just haven't continued this conversation. And you see so much of the key players and key teams here across the state of Georgia in the work that you do for Prep Baseball Georgia. We talked about teams have kind of stuck out to you. Who are team people not talking enough about in your eyes?
It's a team I'm actually going to go into depth on tomorrow and on the podcast, but Marist is a team that's been fantastic this year. In 6A, they have one loss, and it came to Parkview in a 2-1 game. They have some pitchers that are really showing out. A guy named Jamie Vicens, who's going to Georgia Tech, who we really need to see this spring, who's been fantastic. He's been up to 91 with good breaking ball. David Albert, another guy who we really like, uncommitted junior as well, has been fantastic as number 2. And then they have two really, really good sophomores in Martin Shelar and Will Richardson, who we saw earlier this spring at our preseason All-State, who have been great at earning big roles already for this team. Richardson as a third baseman and a closer, and Shelar being the main bat in the outfield as well.
Yeah, John Loudon, one of their guys we had here for the junior future for the future games for the state of Georgia, ended up miking him up for some stuff, and he was taking me a little bit inside the recruiting process and what he's looking for, but that's just a kid who's a ball of personality and one of the I'm sure key cogs in that lineup.
And they're soon to be top 10 team in our Power 25. That'll be released this evening as well, so that'll be good to see for them, and they're just an impressive ball club.
You mentioned podcast. Peach Fuzz is the new podcast that Grayson Rosen is heading up here for LakePoint Sports and Prep Baseball Georgia, so you can join Ian Smith and Hudson Graham on that. You guys will be recording another episode here this week, so you'll be able to find that across all the social media channels. And you got Parker Van Engelnhoven is out there.
Still pitching.
Yeah.
94 pitches.
94 pitches for Van Engelnhoven so far, and did not expect that we'd see him out there for another inning. 5 innings so far. He's allowed 4 hits, 1 earned run, a couple walks, and 6 strikeouts. He's also 1 for 2 at the plate with a RBI double, drew a walk. We're hoping they can get one more inning out of him. They're up 3-1. Got Anthony Massa, who is 1 for 2. He's going to be followed by Jack Linko and Lucas Acevedo. So you're going to get a chance to see Acevedo as Van Engelnhoven hits him. Kind of gave a brush off to the. Was he waving off the coach? I hope he was waving off the coach. I thought that. I hope that's him saying I'm good.
I think so.
And he's like, I got this.
I think they're still going to pull him. Yeah, I think that'll do it.
So he hits Massa. And here comes Ty Brenning. Said that's going to be the end of the day for Parker Van Engelnhoven on the mound.
Maybe.
No, maybe not. Maybe they're just going to give him some words of encouragement. Let him continue here. And he's at 97 pitches right now.
I don't think he wants to give that ball up.
He's thrown 97, as I mentioned. 61 of them have gone for strikes. He's faced 21 batters so far. He's staying out there. strong performance out of the Louisville commit. Looking to finish this thing off and put his team in position to wrap up a victory. Here's Jack Linko. Linko's 0 for 2. Linko, Concordia University, Chicago signee. Oh, shoots that one into right field and
just foul.
Just foul. Could have been a whole heap of trouble. We see that happen so much here at LakePoint Sports because of the openings and the field and the fence down there. Ball will get away from the right fielder, bounce through, and we end up getting what could potentially be even more trouble. Ground rule doubles as it bounces through the opening in the fence.
That could have been a huge swing in the bat right there going backside.
Yeah, Van Englenhoven follows that up. He's got him 0-1. Ropes that one into left field. That's going to be down for a hit. Runners are going to advance. A little bit of a bobble, but able to recover and have runners at first and second. And here is Lucas Acevedo. You wanted to see Acevedo, and now you can put eyes on him. The Illinois Chicago commit, 2025.
Huge at bat here as well.
Have a pinch runner come in for Massa. It's going to be Quentin Lange that's going to come in as the pinch runner at second. So Quentin Lange at second, Jack Linko at first. Acevedo at the plate. No outs, 2 on, 3-1 is the lead for Olentangy Liberty.
One of the biggest at-bats of the game.
And that is in for a strike.
Still firm.
We'll be interested in seeing our TrackMan numbers to see where the velo's at and how it's holding 100 pitches into this outing for Van Englenhoven. Dribble to first base. He's able to gather. He's going to have to struggle.
Oh, gosh. Missing the foot in there a little bit.
Maybe got a little bit too excited about attempting to try to turn 2, but he's able to gather and make the play at first to get the out and avoid a collision. So Acevedo grounds out, and now you're going to have Ben Shea. Shea started out as the DH, and now he's come in a relief appearance.
Big relief innings for Shea. Can really help himself here. Good pitch.
That's in for a strike. 101 is the pitch count for Van Englenhoven. Sends that foul. So we've seen him go fastball down the middle. He follows up another one around that waist knee level. Does he go to a breaking ball and try to change eye levels?
I think so. Breaking ball away. Try to get the swing and miss.
Does exactly that, but he's able to flick it foul. I think that's what I've been more impressed by with him is just the ability to work in the breaker after, you know, he keeps the eye level a certain level.
I'd go right back to it.
Yep.
Went fastball. Try to hit the corner.
I mean, obviously the velo's there. He told me, you know, he's got a number of 95 that he's looking to hit before the high school career is over.
It's coming. You can just tell in the frame he's going to continually get stronger. Fastball up again.
Skies that one into center field.
Tough play.
On the run, able to make the play. Runner is going to tag but not go. So he gets the ball in.
Wind is swirling out there. Make the pop-ups a little bit tougher.
Yep. Well, we've not, to this point, though, we've not seen that really come into play in this game. We did see it a little bit in the first game against Homewood Flossmoor, where maybe you thought the ball was going to die a little bit, takes off as that wind kind of causes some chaos.
I did see an inside the park home run Winnie did this morning in the Rockbridge game as well. A routine fly ball to right that just carried all the way to the corner.
There's Dan Hodel. He's 0 for 2. Team needs him to come through here. He's got 2 runners in scoring position in a 2-run deficit. It's getting early late here for Lincoln Way West, down 3-1. It's getting late early, not early late.
Late early, yes. We figured it out.
That's right. Time is running out is what I'm trying to say. There's the bottom of the 6th. That one's in near his head. He got to dance out of the way. 108 pitches.
Great pitch there.
Nice pitch, and he knows that Hodel give himself a little something with some emphasis there after he watches that in for strike 2.
Hard to get frozen there with one right down the middle.
The 1-2. Tries to get him bite on the outside corners, not happening.
Right idea there.
Runs the count full. You got 2 on, 2 out, 2 strikes, 3 balls, and here's the payoff pitch from Parker Van Englenhoven. Skies it.
Is it in play?
We're unable to see where that one went, but looks like the at-bat's going to continue. Catcher Zach Meyer making a run for it.
Mentioned Meyer earlier talking about the wrong player, but he's been quite impressive today. A few good barrels, looked really good behind the plate. Been good receiver, good blocking, showed a strong arm. Had a kind of caught stealing earlier, a 2-2 pop time in game, which is always going to play. Good showing today from Meyer.
He's gotten it down to 195 in the showcase environment. Shoots that one down the third baseline, and that's going to score 1 run. Here comes the 2nd run. We've got a tie ball game. Dan Hodel coming through with an RBI double as that ball skips away in the throw into second. But Dan Hodel comes through, and we've got a tie here in the bottom of the 6th. We needed a big moment there from Lincoln Way West to get themselves back in the game, and it came via the form of Dan Hodel, who comes through with a 2-run double.
Huge swing. Needed it, got it.
So after 113 pitches, it looks like the day is going to be over for Parker Van Englenhoven. He ends up giving up 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts through 73 strikes in his 113 pitches. See where Olentangy Liberty goes next. Coach Ty Brenning looks to bring in a relief arm.
Even with that 2-run shot there, it was a really impressive performance overall from Van Englenhoven. The stuff really plays, and it's only going to get better.
Now we've got Louis Santangelo coming in. Louis is a junior feature game alumni in 2022, coming again out of that Bo Jackson Elite program. Going to see Van Englenhoven stay in the game. He changes positions. He's going to see him march over to first base. So Santangelo runs the fastball up around 83. He's got a curveball that sits 69-71. Slider 76 to 77, works in a change as well, 71 for 72. He only pitches from the stretch, so he's coming in with runners with a runner on. So luckily for him, he's in position to pitch from the stretch anyway.
Big moment for the freshman, really big.
6'2", 200-pound freshman, by the way. Well, if you're Olentangy Liberty, close late is exactly where you want it, as they came through with a walk-off win in their first action of the day. They've got 6 hits for their 3 runs. Lincoln Way West does 4 hits for Olentangy Liberty for their 3 runs. Josh Howard going to be at the plate for Lincoln Way West, followed by Caden Kopax.
One of the two dual sport athletes for this Lincoln Way West team, committed to play football at the next level.
Here comes Howard. Hodel at second base. He came through big time with a 2-run double to notch things up here at 3-3 in the bottom of the 6th.
After trailing for 6 innings, Lincoln Way West can take the lead here in clutch time. Crunch time, clutch time.
That's right.
We'll go with either one.
Nasty breaking ball from Santangelo, by the way, to start off this AB.
Out of the pen with a first pitch breaking ball.
He tries to do it again, but he hits the runner. So he hits Howard. And now you're going to see Caden Kopax. Caden is 0 for 1. Howard, the catcher, seemingly replaced by a courtesy runner. We'll see if that was how that played out. Santangelo misses in his start here against Kopax. Excuse me, we got a change here for Lincoln Way West. This is Haslip.
2025 outfielder.
Ian Haslip now up to bat.
Great first name.
Ian's at 25, as you mentioned, 5'9", 177. Athletic right-handed stroke, fluid load, keeps hands close to the body, and fires through the zone with a flat path is what the Prep Baseball Ohio scouts say. So we'll see how that plays against Santangelo.
Line drive approach is all you need right now. You can spray on up the middle. You got the lead.
Suddenly got a exciting one on our hands, 3-3 here in the bottom of the 6th. He skies that one into center field, and he's going to wave the got it, and he does. Gets out of that half of an inning, but guess what? It's 3-3 here as we head on to the 7th inning. It's going to be time to go down to the wire here in this game of the day from LakePoint Sports. We'll be back with more. You were watching the Spring Break Experience.
Next. Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one,
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete and all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf.
Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. Cory McCartney, Prep Baseball, Georgia's Ian Smith along with me here in the LakePoint Sports studios. And this thing got all of a sudden a lot more interesting than it looked like it was going to.
For sure.
We appeared to have a game where Olentangy Liberty had taken a lead, and we're not going to relinquish it. We saw Dan Hodel come through with a big moment there with a 2-run double for Lincoln Way West, and to push this the 3-3 going into the 7th inning. And you said it. I mean, they needed a big moment, and they got it from Dan Hodel.
They really did. It was an impressive approach. They went up there. They didn't chase. They laid off the breaking ball, which Van Engelhoven has been throwing great all day. They got the pitches they wanted to hit, and they came through with that big at-bats and sprayed one down the line for a big double.
Well, they forced a pitching change for Olentangy Liberty. They go to Santangelo after 113 pitches for Van Engelhoven in this outing, and now we're going to see. It was. We've seen a couple gutsy performances. That
Sure
and
have.
Connor Essenberg, who went down to his knees after a swing at a pitch from Van Engelhoven, and somehow continues that at bat. Again, I can't wait to talk to him in an upcoming interview with him about staying in the game, what was going through his mind, and just gutting that out, and then having to try to gut one and try to run out.
About
around
beat out
at first base.
an infield single. Like play at the plate.
Acevedo comes in to pitch, and
he dropped the ball.
All right, so a drop at first.
We almost
see Aiden Dean hit one into right field, and we nearly see a throw out from right field to first base, and not going to happen. That was Essenberg, by the way, who almost threw him out at first base. So
that was a hose right there.
Yeah, he's been showing out in a number of ways today. Doesn't get a hit, but still shows out in the AB. Doesn't get an out there at first base, but still shows out with the arm. So certainly a making moment here for Connor Essenberg, and now you got
a two-hit strike hit as well today.
That's right.
He's had impressive approaches all day long, impressive ABs, and showing in the field.
All right, here is Van Engelhoven. He is 1 for 2. Got that 2-run double to his credit.
Could use another right here. And multiple 95 EVs off the bat of Van Engelhoven today, which is impressive to see. He's really smoking the ball. Feel for the barrel, the strength in the frame. Like we mentioned, he's 6'5", 195. That's going to play at the plate as much as he plays on the mound as well.
He is facing off against Lucas Acevedo, who comes in this relief effort. Lucas gets it up right around the cusp of 90. He's also got a slider with over 2,500 RPM. Changeup, 78 to 80. Illinois-Chicago commit. Gets that in for a strike. Two-way prospect, obviously. See him go to Illinois-Chicago. Sometimes you think, does a guy want to be enough of a two-way guy that maybe they don't say, I have to go Power 5. I want an opportunity to do it all at the next level. And Lucas Acevedo maybe having exactly that as he goes on to Illinois-Chicago. And we've seen him in the field today at the plate. Now we're seeing him on the mound.
Doing a little bit of everything. Just wanting to play the game at his level. On his time. Excuse me.
Comes a 2-2.
The breaking ball.
Yeah, not getting in the bite. You got a
more
smart batter, not biting on the corner.
Minimal chase from this team throughout the day. It really doesn't lay off that breaking ball on the outside.
Olentangy Liberty looking to put some pressure on him. That ball gets away from first base. The runner's going to advance. So throw to first, gets away from the first baseman, and Aiden Dean advances 90 feet. Van Engelhoven's got himself a runner in scoring position, the go-ahead run. Olentangy Liberty obviously looking to put some more pressure on Lincoln Way West. They had to claw and fight their way back into this game, and now they're seemingly going to put them in position to have to do it again in the bottom of the 7th. The count is full. Shortens up, sends that one over, and the runner's going to advance to third, so does his job. So you're going to have a runner at 90 feet away from putting Olentangy Liberty back in front. We're 3-3 here in the top of the 7th.
Finally can talk about Zach Meyer at the plate here after missing it earlier in the game. Big moment for Meyer. Like I said, been swinging it well today. Strong defensive profile behind the plate as well. Good player for this team.
Meyer, 6'1", 200-pound Wittenberg signee. Wittenberg, not too far from my childhood home of Bell Fountain, Ohio. That one's in for ball 1.
I was just looking up where the school was the other night. My wife's from Oxford, Ohio. So we wanted to see where it was. In
Springfield, Ohio, the home of John Legend.
Yep.
There's a famous deli in Wittenberg called Mike and Rosie's, and I'm sure that he's going to find his way there more often than not going to Wittenberg.
I think so. It's my main goal in every new town I'm in, find the food spots. I can thank Hudson Graham and Shooter Hunt for finding all the coffee spots around Georgia. Every town I'm in, I'm texting one of them to find the best coffee
There you
spots.
go.
So that's been a good pastime for me this spring.
Have you been to Alma yet?
I've been to Alma.
Okay.
Myth and Legend Incoming, really, really good as well, a new one. And then Bazaar I believe it's Incoming as well, or in the Forsyth County, another really good one.
When the movie Baby Driver came out, I was still working in Midtown, and Octane Coffee features prominently in that movie, and we kept searching up all the Octane coffees in Atlanta.
Big coffee guy over here.
Meyer watches that one for a ball. So you got Aiden Dean at third, 90 feet away from the go-ahead run. There was only one out in this inning.
Again, laying off the breaking ball in the outer half.
Zach Meyer looking to put his team ahead. The Patriots trying to regain the lead as he skies that one foul.
Pitch to hit there, just missed it.
We're all notched up at 3-3 here in the top of the seventh in our game of the day from the spring break experience between Olentangy Liberty and Lincoln Way West. Comes the 1-1, shows bunt.
Down the bunt. Got it.
They get the runner. Unfortunately, there goes the potential go-ahead run as he shows bunt, pulls back, and gets the runner trying to take advantage there. Yep, huge play, huge heady play. The catcher.
Mistake on Meyer's part there to not make contact.
Josh Howard gathers, gets the runner a little bit too close to home. So now it's back to 0 here for Olentangy Liberty. Meyer watches that in for a strike. Man, what a turn of events there for Lincoln Way West. Olentangy Liberty was inches away from getting the lead, but now it's down to the bottom of the seventh inning. We're all notched up at 3-3. We'll be back with more shortly. You're watching the game of the day from LakePoint Sports.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. We are on to the bottom of the seventh inning. We're all notched up at 3-3 here in our game of the day at the Spring Break Experience at LakePoint Sports. Prep Baseball, Georgia's Ian Smith joining me, Cory McCartney here in this matchup between Olentangy Liberty and Lincoln Way West. Looked like we were going to have Olentangy Liberty take the lead. Got Aiden Dean at third base. Zach Meyer shows bunt, unable to make contact. Ball gets away from, the opportunity gets away from him. Josh Howard gathers, the catcher for Lincoln Way West. Gets Dean going a little bit too close to home. They get the lead runner, and we're still notched up going into the bottom of the seventh.
Squeeze bunt, not the move there. Didn't execute the way they wanted to, and now we got a tie game with the top of the lineup coming up for Lincoln Way West here in the bottom of the seventh.
Yeah, Lincoln Way West trailed 3-1. They fought their way back. Dan Hodel comes through with a 2-run double. We broke that down extensively. They really needed a moment. They got it. Now they're set up to try to get another moment and try to avoid any extra innings here as we are, again, all notched up at 3-3. And what's been a fantastic finish to our game of the day here. And this is just getting us started. This event's going on for the next 4 days, so plenty of baseball action here at LakePoint Sports if you want to come in and check out what we've got going on. And guess what? Drew Hohenstein, the Ohio State commit, comes in to pitch in the bottom of the 7th inning for Olentangy Liberty. And so you're going to see one of the top lefty arms in the state of Ohio in the class of 2026. Starts off with ball 1.
Patriots looking for some big outs here. They're going to one of their big arms.
Well, they got Jacob Willis, the leadoff hitter for Lincoln Way West, and then Connor Essenberg, the Kansas State commit, looms in the on-deck circle. So Ty Brenning, the Olentangy Liberty coach, leaving nothing to chance here as he puts in one of his highest leverage arms. Hohenstein around 86 with the fastball. He's also got a really nasty curveball that's around 75 to 76. Also got a slider and a change.
Really like the curveball. 12 to 6, can really bury it, get good depth, can swing and miss.
He
Good
was here
pitch.
for junior future games in 2021 and 2022. Before then making his commitment to Ohio State. 6'4", 195.
Again, a sophomore. You got a 6'5" righty sophomore, and you have a 6'4" lefty sophomore. Like twin towers for the starting lineup for Olentangy.
Yeah, for a while. The 4th ranked lefty in Ohio. He's 15th overall in the class of 2026 in the state. Number 36 lefty in the nation.
Full
Look at
count
that
now.
sweeping 3/4 release point there for Hohenstein. And the count, as Ian said, is full. Ropes that one into right field. Jumped all over that.
Just a little bit out in front. Almost like their bases.
Willis, again, a Loras College signee. He's got that exit velo around 91. Walks him, so a leadoff walk. Now you got to deal with Connor Essenberg.
Big time right now. Left on right matchup.
We've already seen a great moment from Essenberg earlier when he went to his knees after a swing and a pitch from Parker Van Engenhoven, and he stays in the game, continues to AB. It's a dribbler to left side of the infield and has to it's a sprint down the line, nearly runs it out for an infield hit. Thought maybe he'd be limping coming out of the box, and he just tore out of the gate.
Out of the box. Smart going breaking ball first pitch there.
Cole Crafton says he's an emotional guy, kind of lives for moments, and he's got a potential moment on his hands here. The runner at first base, the potential game-winning run in the form of Jacob Willis. Hohenstein delivers. That one's in near his shins.
See Hohenstein being careful here. He knows the impact in the bat with Essenberg. Doesn't want to leave anything over the middle to do damage on.
1-1 is the count. Great. Chopper, short covers, throws a second. Not going to be able to get Essenberg though at first, so we're going to have 1 down and 1 on. Nice play by second base to make the flip over. So Andrew Leonard gathers and get the throw from Nick Vittorino.
3 straight sliders to Essenberg there. Didn't want to really give him anything to barrel.
So Nick Vittorini with a nice play there at short. Go back over to Essenberg.
It's been a few times Vittorini's made some really good plays at short. Moving well, really flexible. Ball comes out of his hand fast. Good transfers.
Anthony Massa at the plate now. Watches that in for a ball. Hohenstein, a starter by nature, so it can always be tough for a starter to have to get thrust into a relief appearance.
I don't think this was Olentangy's main idea to get him to throw today, but they're needing some outs, and to get him in there and get him rolling is a big moment now.
Yeah, he told me his anticipation was he was going to pitch tomorrow, so he had no thought process of going into this game pitching, which is, can be tough on any starter. I mean, I talk to guys, at the big league level that say, when they used to be a starter, I remember talking to Tyrell Jenkins, who was once the Braves minor league pitcher of the year, and he was always a starter, and then we went to the majors, and they decided they were going to use him as a reliever, and he's like, all of a sudden, I'm completely changing my prep level. I'm getting thrown into games. I'm not used to doing it. The stuff doesn't feel the same way. I don't have the same, pregame preparation. And maybe that's happening for Drew right now, as he's kind of just getting thrown into this and having to work his way into the stuff, feeling right again.
Routine is a huge thing for pitchers, and being off that can really throw off your whole game.
2-2 count. Sends that foul.
Living off the breaking ball right now.
And you think maybe that's a matter of him not wanting to rev it up because he's still planning on pitching tomorrow? So you're not going to go out.
There's a good chance of that. Knowing he can create weak contact with that breaking ball, so if he just knows he can hit his spots with it, doesn't have to really max out the effort with the fastball.
That one goes foul. Counts 2-2. Again, we're notched up 3-3 here in the bottom of the 7th. Got a runner at first. Form of Connor Essenberg, Anthony Massa up, Jack Linko in the on-deck circle. That's high to make it 2-2.
3-2, actually.
Oh, excuse me, 3-2.
A little delayed there on the game changer.
That's right. We won't put it on to whoever's running it things for Olentangy Liberty.
Painting the corner with the breaking ball.
Nice punch out for Hohenstein. So now 2 down.
Big time pitch right there.
All comes down to Jack Linko. It's Ty Brennan coming out to have a word with Hohenstein. That may be it for.
Yep.
Yeah, he's changing pitchers. So you see Hohenstein, I would assume he's still going to get his normal opportunity tomorrow then as we see a pitching change.
No. Bonacci coming in here to pitch, it looks like.
All right, so Brady Bonacci is going to come in.
It appears. Maybe not.
No, unless he's changing gloves, maybe.
It's possible there.
That was A.J. Clymer. It's showing on Game Changer, so maybe Clymer's going out to left field, and we're going to see who ends up replacing Hohenstein on the mound. It is going to be Bonacci. It's coming back out. So Brady Bonacci, if you haven't heard enough of us talking about it, comes through with a walk-off win in the first game. The knock in the bottom of the 7th to get the Patriots the win. Now he's going to have a chance as the relief pitcher here in the bottom of the 7th to silence this Lincoln Way West team. They've already got 2 down. Got Connor Essenberg at first base. Jack Linko at the plate. Linko's 1 for 3. All right, Bonacci again coming in this relief effort. 6'2", 200-pounder. Where's that fastball? Around 88.6. He's got a slider, changeup. Trying to hold things down for the Patriots. They've got 2 down. And get Essenberg at first. He grounded out as the lead runner was taken down at second base. And we saw a strikeout from Drew Hohenstein. Lincoln Way West, 3 runs on 6 hits. They've made 1 error. Olentangy Liberty, 3 runs on 5 hits. Seen a really aggressive nature on the base paths, as you mentioned, Ian, from Olentangy Liberty. Leonard's got a couple stolen bases. Van Englenhoven's got a couple stolen bases. Schneer has a stolen base. Stickel has a stolen base. Meanwhile, 0 stolen bases from Lincoln Way West.
That could be a game changer here. Even though Lincoln Way West with a chance to win it right here.
All right, Bonacci against Linko. First pitch spikes in front of the catcher.
This has got to be one of the harder moments to come in as a two-way relief guy. Playing all day, you're coming in now, huge moment, runners on. Got to get a strikeout, got to get an out. Excuse me, not a strikeout, but you got to get an out here. Been playing right your entire day.
Makes it 2-0.
Got to hit a spot here.
That's now 3-0 to Linco. Lucas Acevedo to follow. And then Ben Shea. We already saw Ben Shea come through with a 2 RBI double and then deliver that after a long relief effort. 4-pitch walk to Jack Linco.
After Acevedo came in out of the pen last inning, fantastic stuff, getting 3 big outs. Could finish it off here in the bottom.
There's 2 down. Acevedo is 1 for 3. And then again, you got Ben Shea in the on-deck circle, and we've seen him, step up big for Lincoln Way West. So if Acevedo can't do it, if he happens to get on, Ben Shea is already proven he can come through in a big moment.
Ben Shea also with big innings out of the pen as well.
All right, here we go. Benaki, Acevedo, 2 on, 2 out. Shoots that one foul. Acevedo, the 5th-ranked shortstop in Illinois, class of 25, excuse me. There's the 0-1. That one's off the pitcher's foot. There's going to be no play. Excuse me, something happened. We got an out. We did get an out somewhere. It looked as though we were going to have the bases loaded, but play was made and able to see a ground out second base to first base, ends it. So we're going on 8th inning. We got extras, free baseball here at LakePoint Sports. You're watching the Spring Break Experience. We'll be back with more shortly. Don't go anywhere.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
A full 7 innings couldn't tell the tale of Olentangy Liberty against Lincoln Way West. We're on to the 8th inning, all notched up at 3-3. We saw both teams, Ian, have an opportunity to come through and pull ahead with runners on in the 7th inning and just unable to capitalize. So we're marching on. And the first games for these teams, as they're going to be here multiple days, this is going to put a little bit of stress on these pitching staffs and probably have to go, as we already saw with Olentangy Liberty having to pull out Drew Hohenstein, the Ohio State commit, who's supposed to start tomorrow. They're going to have to go a little deeper into these staffs than they wanted to this early.
And especially with Olentangy, this being their first 2 games of the year overall. At least Lincoln Way West has played a week full of games already, but Olentangy coming out here having to use a whole grip of arms in their first 2 games is something that isn't the most ideal, but they're getting through it and showing what they can do, and just got to get through the end of this.
Yeah, I mean, they had, Parker Van Englenhoven throws 113 pitches. I'm sure he didn't think he was going to do that in the first game. Hohenstein didn't even think he was going to pitch till tomorrow, and he has to come in and get, ends up getting a strikeout in his 2/3 of an inning. And then you got Bonacci come in, Santangelo in between Van Englenhoven and Hohenstein. So, the pitching going to be stressed, especially when you think about 8 games that Olentangy Liberty is going to be playing over this stretch. So
it's a tough week there.
All right, well, we continue to be tied up at 3-3 as we move along here into the 8th inning of action. So we'll see how we have the pitching line up for Lincoln Way West and who they're rolling out there. They continue with Acevedo. So Acevedo, and then you've got Brady Schneer is leading things off here for Olentangy Liberty. He'll be followed by Nick Vitorino and Brady Bonacchi. Big swing and a miss. Schneer trying to put his team ahead with one blow.
Big swing again. Swing up to the fences here.
Schneer getting the best that Acevedo has to offer. Acevedo just going into attack mode here. See if he does the same. I would imagine so. Hasn't shown the ability to catch up to that fastball. Can't get it that time. Makes it 1-2.
Close pitch.
Schneer's 0 for 2 on the day. But he has drawn a walk. We've seen 7 walks in total for Olentangy Liberty. Gets him on the corner for the strikeout. Nice start there from Lucas Acevedo as Brady Schneer goes down on strikes for out number 1 as he catches him looking.
Really good pitch. Went to the breaking ball. Field landed on the outer half. We mentioned that a lot today. Been a popular pitch throughout this game.
So with 1 down, it's Nick Vitorini, excuse me. Vitorini watches ball 1.
Good life on the fastball.
Vitorini's 0 for 3. That makes it 2-0. Shoots that one into left field and be camping underneath that for out number 2. A loud out from Vitorini down to Brady Bonacchi. Lucas Acevedo looking to put the Patriots down in order and give his chance a team to walk this thing off.
Bonacchi trying to be a hero again.
He delivered the game-winning hit in the bottom of the 7th in Game 1 against Homewood Flossmoor. He's 0 for 2 in this game. But again, he's like a lot of the other guys on this Olentangy Liberty team's got a walk on his ledger. Then he finds himself in a 2-0 count against Lucas Acevedo with 2 outs in a 3-3 game in the top of the 8th. Now 3-0. AJ Clymer is in the on-deck circle. Olentangy Liberty just looking to get back to that top of the order with some base runners and a threat to take the lead, and there's ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to Brady Bonacchi, and here comes AJ Clymer with Ryan Stickle in the on-deck circle. In the top of the order, and Andrew Leonard, if they can continue to make things happen, they'll will their way back into the lead. Now 3-3. They led 3-1 before Lincoln Way West fought their way back. Ben Hodel with a 2-run double as that one goes foul.
Olentangy been a good station-to-station team all day. Just need to continue to stay within their approach. Come through with a couple timely hits here to give themselves the leads.
All right, here is the 0-1 from Acevedo. He's got a runner at first. Taking off.
Got him.
Got him. So another base running miscue there from Olentangy Liberty. We saw the suicide squeeze bunt not go their way in the last half an inning, and then a runner gets caught off the bag there to end that threat as well. We're on to the bottom of the 8th inning. We're all tied up at 3-3. You're watching the game of the day. This is a spring break experience from LakePoint Sports.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, you'll always find more fun with great brands at the best prices. More of this, and this. So you can get together for a little of that, and a lot more of that. And even some of that, and that's good. Have more fun with great brands at the best prices. Only at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. We march on. It's on to the bottom of the 8th inning in this 3-3 game between Olentangy Liberty and Lincoln Way West in our game of the day from the spring break experience. Cory McCartney along with Prep Baseball, Georgia's Ian Smith. A couple base running miscues have not gone Olentangy Liberty's way the last couple innings. We saw the suicide squeeze bunt not happen, and then we saw a runner just kind of get off the bag a little bit, take off too early, and gets keyed down at second base, and an opportunity to take the lead doesn't go their way, and now they got to try to hold things down and push it on to the ninth.
Yeah, some late inning miscues for the Patriots here, and could come back to bite them there, but they still got a good arm on the mound with Benaki, so they just got to get 3 more outs and see what they can do at the plate next time up.
All right, so Brady Benaki going to try to keep his team in this game and deny Lincoln Way West a walk-off victory. Ben Shea,
big Ben Shea,
came through multiple times at the plate on the mound for the Warriors in this affair, so we'll see what he's able to do here. Skies that one foul. So we're going to see a handoff here. You're going to see a live handoff is here as Ian Smith's on his way to go see Forsyth Central and Alex Hernandez pitch. So he's going to head on out, and Avery Hunt's going to make his return to the broadcast.
Did you guys miss me?
We did. You handed it off to Cole Crafton. Crafton goes to Ian Smith. Now Ian Smith goes back to Avery Hunt as we potentially finish this thing off. We may end up having to go deep into the night here. Ben Shea shoots that one over to short, makes the throw to first for the out. So now going to be 1 down. All right, so Shea goes down, and here's Dan Hodel. Hodel, again, 1 for 2 with a couple RBIs. The Warriors need Hodel to come through here again and give his team a chance to get the winning run on, and shoots that one foul. Looked like we were going to have a easy win for Olentangy Liberty, and Lincoln Way West fights their way back, and now we're marching on, and teams are having to go a little bit deeper into the pitching well than I think they thought they were going to at this stage of the spring break experience.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think we can ask for 2 better ball games, to start off, especially here on field 13. I mean, Olentangy had the walk-off game 1. Now all of a sudden you look up, you're in the 8th or 9th inning. It's been some entertaining baseball play.
Dan Hodel shoots that one into right field, going to camp underneath it for out number 2. Clymer on the run makes the out. So Hodel had the couple RBI up in his last AB, but not this time. And now we're going to see Josh Howard, the catcher. Heady play from Howard there, getting the base runner on the suicide squeeze attempt. Starts Howard off 1-0. Should he get on, Caden Kopech will follow. Another foul. I think with Olentangy Liberty playing 8 games, if this thing goes much further, they might look into the stands for some pitchers to use.
Get to the second or third day with all those games, they might have to start calling people out of the stands for real.
That's right. Free admission if you can pitch. 2-1 is the count to Howard. Brady Bonacci continues on the mound. He's 16 pitches into this relief effort. That miss makes it 3-1.
Both offenses here just looking to get somebody on base and see if they can't find a gap and, take the lead in this ball game, late, obviously, in these extra inning contests. Every little thing matters.
Swing and a hard cut on that miss. So the count's now full to Howard. Dribbler, Bonaki's got it, throws over to first. Not in time, so we're going to have a base runner. Apologize for not being able to see exactly what happened. Howard's going to be replaced by a courtesy runner. You're going to have, I believe, Jackson Mansker, number 22, coming in as the courtesy runner for Howard. Now it's Caden Kopax, and going to be followed by Jacob Willis if he gets on, the leadoff hitter. So that dangerous part of the Lincoln Way West order is looming. Connor Essenberg in the hole.
Really good job there with 2 strikes in that last at bat. Didn't overly hit the ball very hard as it kind of just squibbed down that third base line. Was able to beat it out, and like I said, just get somebody on base, kind of maybe spark something. You got the courtesy runner over there at first. Maybe a ball in the gap can win it.
That's one gets away from him high, makes it 2-0. Quick throw over from Benaki to first. We've not seen a stolen base yet from Lincoln Way West in this game. Willis has 1 caught stealing. That's in for a strike.
Seen Liberty be very, very, very aggressive on the base pass in this game.
Sure have. That misses, makes it 3-1. Meanwhile, they've got 6 steals in total to Lincoln Way West 0. And, for a large part of this game, you had a hard throwing righty in Van Englenhoven, and maybe they just didn't want to get too aggressive with someone really cooking it at the plate, but that's going to be a walk, so we're going to have 2 on, 2 out. Apologize, not Caden Kopax, this is the pinch hitter Haslip. We had replaced Kopax in the batting order last time around.
Have a meeting at the mound here to kind of settle your pitcher back down, get him back in that strike zone after the walk.
So you got Howard at second, Haslip at first, and here's the top of the order and Jacob Willis. He gets on. Connor Essenberg, the Kansas State commit, will follow. Willis is 0 for 2. And a runner in scoring position at second base. In the form of Josh Howard. Jacob Willis looking to get on or deliver that game-winning run from Lincoln Way West. Swing and a miss. Things are getting real here in the bottom of the 8th inning in this game of the day from the spring break experience. We're all notched up at 3-3. Rips that one foul. Finds himself now down 0-2. 2 on, 2 out, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, and Willis strikes out. Wanaki gets out of that. Strands 2. We're on to the 9th inning. We're turned into a marathon here. And the game of the day from the spring break experience. We'll be back with more. We're all tied up 3-3. Olentangy Liberty against Lincoln Way West. We'll be back shortly from LakePoint Sports.
Next. Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one.
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete and all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf.
Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
More free baseball from the spring break experience. You're watching the game of the day. Olentangy Liberty against Lincoln Way West. We're all notched up going into the 9th inning. 3-3. I got a pitching change for Olentangy Liberty. Caden Kopac's going to be on the mound now. Cory McCartney along with Prep Baseball Georgia's Avery Hunt. This thing is turned into a battle of attrition now. We saw Olentangy Liberty rush out to a lead. Lincoln Way West answers, and then since then they've just been trading trading zeros on the scoreboard and just looking for somebody to get something going here as these teams try to battle this out. And they've both got a long way to play here over the next few days, and obviously not looking to put too much of a stress on their pitching staffs as these games roll on.
Absolutely. I mean, just looking to somebody on the offensive side for either squad to kind of spark something here and kind of get something going, maybe push a run across. Obviously, we're 3-3 here in the top of the 9th inning. We saw really good pitching throughout this game from both sides. So, yeah, we'll just see if either squad can't get something going.
A.J. Clymer at the plate for Olentangy Liberty. He is going to be followed by Ryan Stickle, and then it's back to the top of the order and Andrew Leonard. Caden Kopac's mentioned hitting right now. Caden is 20-25, primarily plays shortstop. Swing and a miss makes it 1-1, or 1-2, excuse me. Kopac's with a miss to make it 2-2. And we're in the top of the 9th, all notched up at 3-3. Shoots that one a short, gathers, throws in time. Nope, pulls him off the bag, but makes a tag anyway to get the out. Throws from Acevedo, pulls Linko off the bag, but he's able to make the tag a Clymer for out number 1. So here's Ryan Stickle. Stickle hitless in this game so far, but he's drawn 3 walks, 3 of the team's 8 walks. He's potentially headed towards another with this count starting 1-0. Skies that one into left center on the run. Not going to be able to make a play. It's on his way into second base. A 1-out double from Ryan Stickle, his first hit of the game as he It's a celebratory fist pump to the Olentangy Liberty dugout, and they're in motion with the go-ahead run, potentially at the form of second base in Ryan Stickle, and now here is Andrew Leonard.
Really good job. Really good piece of hitting there. Able to drive that ball to left center. Able to sneak over the left fielder's head. Now all of a sudden you got something cooking with one out, trying to push a run across here.
Aiden Dean to follow. Here's Andrew Leonard. Leonard is 2 for 4. Shows bunt, pulls back. We've talked about how aggressive Olentangy Liberty has been on the base pass. Do they do that here to try to get that run 90 feet closer, try to retake this lead over Lincoln Way West? Stickle jumps back. Mentioned he's got a stolen base already this game, scoring 2 of the team's 3 runs. Kopax delivers. Leonard watches that for ball 1, so the count's now 1-1.
Showed bunt on the first pitch. Didn't look like he was intending to there, so looks like he'll get to swing at it here.
Kopax delivers. Leonard watches that for a strike. It jumped out of his shoes a little bit. All right, the 1-2 from Kopax. A little bit of a flare to right. Going to advance to third. So you got Clymer now, Stickle, at third base. Just does his job, pushing into right field, and all of a sudden you got the go-ahead run at third base, and here is Aiden Dean.
Another good job of 2-strike hitting there. Didn't overly hit it very hard, just was able to get enough bat on it to get it through that 3-4 hole. Was interested to see with how aggressive they've been today on the bases if they've thought about pushing that one too.
We have a courtesy runner step in for Leonard. A pinch runner, excuse me, Leonard. So let's see who's coming in for him. Got Stickle at third. Stickle's already got a stolen base to his name. Again, he scored 2 of the 3 runs already for Olentangy Liberty, reaching 3 walks, and he's now got a 1-out double. He's 90 feet away from the go-ahead run. Aiden Dean, the DH. Parker Van Englenhoven in the on-deck circle. Kopax with the 1-0. Steps off, and you can get Stickle or Jennings, the pinch runner. That's Gavin Jennings, who's come in as the pinch runner for Leonard.
If you've watched our broadcast before, that move is illegal in all PBR sanctioned events, but this is a high school game, so that move is still legal.
Good call.
Yep. Just, hey, all over the rules.
That's right.
Part of my job, so trying to stay on top of them.
All right, you got a 1-1 count to Aiden Dean. Caden Kopax on the mound. 2 on, 3-3 is our game here in the top of the 9th. That's in for a strike. Nice breaking ball from Kopax to go ahead 1-2.
See the same move, go back to it again. Trying to see if he can get that guy scampering off of first there, get a free out.
So I've seen some late base running miscues come back to bite Olentangy Liberty. Hoping to play a little safer this time and break through with that go-ahead run. That's in for a strikeout. Now 2 down. Catches Aiden Dean looking, and here is Parker Van Englenhoven. He's got a runner at third. He's already had a run-scoring double, 2 RBI to his ledger. 113 pitches he's thrown already as well for exiting. Team needs him to come through here. The Louisville commit with a chance to put Olentangy Liberty ahead with 2 on and 2 out in the top of the 9th. Watches Kopak's first offering for strike 1.
Going to that breaking ball real heavy here, and these last 2 hitters starting to kind of find that release point and trust it a little bit more.
Miss makes it 1-1. Van Engelenhoven is 1 for 3. He's also drawn a walk, struck out. Again, had a 2-run double. And he's got a couple stolen bases. Looking to add go-ahead RBI to his day. Skies that one into right field on the run. Able to make the grab and get out of the jam. We're going to march on to the bottom of the 9th inning. 2 stranded for Olentangy Liberty. 3-3 as we move on. Lincoln Way West going to try to walk things off as we move along. We'll be back with more shortly from LakePoint Sports.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. Cory McCartney, Prep Baseball, Georgia's Avery Hunt. I mean, this thing is just moving along. The bottom of the 9th inning. 3-3, Olentangy Liberty and Lincoln Way West. This is turning into a marathon for these 2 teams. Brady Bonacci is going to continue on the mound for Olentangy Liberty. He's 27 pitches into this. Got Connor Essenberg, though, the Kansas State commit, leading things off for Lincoln Way West, and just both teams at this point just trying to find a way to break through. We saw Olentangy Liberty strand 2 the last half of an inning. They had another opportunities before that to try to take the lead, and they've just been not able to break through. And now we'll see Lincoln Way West with the biggest bat in their lineup if they can get things rolling.
Absolutely. I mean, really good job pitching out of a jam there. First and third, 1 out. You get the punch out. And then you get the fly out to end the inning from the 3-hole guy. I mean, that's a really good job pitching. Really trusted the breaking ball there and was able to sneak out of that jam with game still tied.
All right, well, we're looking for, again, somebody to find a way to take this lead as we move along in the bottom of the 9th inning. This has turned into a marathon between these 2 teams. Brady Bonacci, 27 pitches into this. Connor Essenberg is 1 for 4. Kansas State commit, try to get his team going.
Important late in games here is getting a leadoff guy on, maybe swipe a bag, be able to bunt him over to second, then 2 shots to drive him in. If you're Lincoln Way right here, I mean, you're just trying to get that leadoff guy on, maybe spark something, get a ball in the gap here, get a guy on second, nobody out, maybe get a bunt down. So it's a big first hitter here in the bottom of the 9th.
Essenberg watches that come in for a strike. He's 1 for 4 on the day. Again, he's the #1 first baseman in Illinois in 2025. That's ball 1. Prep Baseball, Illinois scouts say he repeatedly produces hard contact. Lincoln Way West looking for any contact here to try to get on base and give them the potential winning run. Goes the third, gathers, throws. It's a dive towards first base, but not in time, is going to be out. Unable to beat that one out. So one down. Dessenberg tries to get physical and make something happen, but unfortunately for Lincoln Way West, he goes down, and we're now looking at Anthony Massa with Jack Linko to follow. Holds on the check swing. It's now at 1-0. Make it 2-0. Massa 1 for 3. Rips that one into left field for a base hit.
Really good job there staying on that fastball, lining over the shortstop's head. Got the foot down, was able to find the barrel.
So Massa got a double, and now he's got a a single here in the bottom of the ninth. See if he can provide Jack Linko an opportunity to come through. Got Lucas Acevedo to follow. Acevedo's been pitching in relief before Kopax came in. Linko 1 for 3. That makes it 2-0. Rips that one into right field. Be over the right fielder's head. He's taken off. Linko delivers, and here comes the game. Oh, they got the winning run coming through. Look at that. Mob that man, a walk-off win. Jack Linko scores Massa, and Lincoln Way West 4-3 winners in our game of the day from LakePoint Sports. What a finish by Lincoln Way West. Jack Linko ripping one into right field over the right fielder's head, and Massa just taking off like a man possessed to get in before the tag and deliver the winning run. And that, Avery Hunt, was a ridiculous finish.
Absolutely. You couldn't have asked for a better one in a great ball game. Go 9 innings. You know, the 2-out or the 1-out double there. We had a stumble at third base, but it looks like he got back on track and was able to dive head first in there and beat the throw.
Again, a 4-3 win in 9 innings for Lincoln Way West. They come back to take down Olentangy Liberty. We'll be back with more shortly here from LakePoint Sports and hand out our player of the game.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, you'll always find more fun with great brands at the best prices. More of this, and this. So you can get together for a little of that, and a lot more of that. And even some of that, and that's good. Have more fun with great brands at the best prices. Only at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
In a game that was turning into a marathon between Lincoln Way West and Olentangy Liberty, both teams were waiting for someone to find a way to break through. It was Jack Linko that did exactly that. Cory McCartney along with Prep Baseball Georgia's Avery Hunt. And Avery, as we look at handing out our player of the game, Jack Linko comes through with that big moment, ends up going 2 for 4. Nothing bigger, though, than that walk-off double that he hits over the right fielder's head. Anthony Masso ends up just taking off like, again, a man possessed to get that game-winning run. You see the mob session there from Lincoln Way West as they just run over and get Jack Linko, the Concordia University Chicago signee, coming through when his team needed it most.
Absolutely. A really good piece of hitting there in a big spot. Was able to stay on the fastball and drive it off the right center field wall and gave him just enough time to come around and score and walk it off. So really good ball game from both teams, and that's just about a perfect ending for that one.
You look at the way these things played out. Olentangy Liberty has to get the walk-off win in the first game. They're hot. They come into this game. Lincoln Way West has to sit there and watch the way they won. Maybe their bats weren't a little hot to start. Mm-hmm. They end up finding a way late. I think just the way that they gutted out that win, I think, says a lot about a team and the way that they were able to kind of cobble things together and just wait for their opportunity to break through.
Absolutely. It was almost the exact same game, but flip the script on for Lincoln Way, and they were kind of able to reproduce what they saw in the first game with the get behind early and battle back and then be able to walk it off late in the ball game. It took extra innings, but yeah, really good job by those guys staying in it and fighting back.
And a great start to our spring break experience coverage here from LakePoint Sports. Been a great one without question for Cory McCartney, Avery Hunt, producer Mason Monroe, Ian Smith, and we are also, by the way, joined by Louisville signee Cole Crafton. So if you missed any of it, go back and watch the entirety of this broadcast. And as always, we'll have our game of the day for you each and every week. We'll be back with another one next week from the Spring Break Experience. You can find that for free on Facebook, X, and YouTube. So until next time, appreciate you joining us, and we'll see you next time from LakePoint Sports.